Yeah.
Yes. Like say in
Yeah.
both,
Okay.
so we'll have the session for almost 8 to 9 hours today and tomorrow. So initially we'll start with core Java basics. I
Okay.
hope is anyone of you like okay already familiar with Java basics?
No, no. All are
New, okay.
admin based.
Okay, good. So because you people no need to get scared, no, for core programming in MapReduce. So Hadoop architecture actually it's completely built on MapReduce programming. So MapReduce code is it's actually written in Java. So you people no need to worry about like Java is a very big language and very tough enough to you people to write the code in MapReduce programming. It's not like that. So I'll put the things in a very straightforward manner for you, and then it is very simple and then easy. The basics that what we are going to learn now in today's session for the next 1.5 hours or 2 hours. So those basics will help you out to understand the concepts of Hadoop mapper and reducer concepts. Okay, so this but we are not going to touch the all the topics in Java. The basic object-oriented programming concepts, which is essential for Hadoop programming, only those concepts that we are going to see. But that will cover most of the core Java topics. Okay, so I hope you will definitely enjoy the session, and you'll look whenever you have queries. Okay, you guys please stop me, raise your queries, let me know whatever the doubt you have, so that okay we can clear them and then we can proceed to the next step. Guys, okay, is that shall we
Okay.
start?
Okay,
Oh,
sure.
okay.
We can start.
Yeah. So none of you are hungry, right? So for next 1.5 hour, you can hold your tummies.
Definitely.
Right. See, is my voice audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
All of you?
Yeah.
Good, good. So I think no, we have only three presentation. Murli, Jai Ganesh, and then other two. One
Jai
is
Ganesh, my
and only four associates are there.
Abid. Yeah, Abid. Abid.
Apart from me, there are four associates, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Me and you. Okay, only three associates. Professor you, Raman, and myself.
Yeah. 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 So tomorrow, two other persons will be joining.
Okay, okay.
Since
So
they want to go to some urgent work in their offices, so they can't able to join.
okay, okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. My wife is going to join along with me within 1 hour. She is working as a professor in Therapy College of Engineering, Madurai, in computer science engineering.
Okay, fine. Yeah,
Okay.
right. See, we will start with this. See, as we know the token of the basic core programming and all, the Java programming that what we see. Uh, so first we'll start with like why do we need a programming language? Why we have to go for a programming language and all? What does a programming language will do? So, for example, if I want to do some calculations like a plus b, if I want to do some calculations, some 10 and 20, so generally, how will you do? So you have to take two data here, like okay, so 10 can be represented, and then how 20 can be represented. Instead of doing manual calculations, you want to make this calculation to be done by a computer, correct? So if I want to do 10 plus
Yes.
20, instead of doing it manually, I want to make it to be done by computer. So how computer can do this? So that addition or subtraction, any kind of calculations are, so will be done automatically by computer, right? So how it will be done? By accepting the instructions from the programmers like us. Okay. And these instructions that what we give it to the computer, okay, these instructions can be framed in terms of a programming language. So each and every language, as we used to say, like okay, in Tamil I can say ukkarunga, in Telugu I can say kurchondi, in English I can say sit down. So every language has
Yeah.
its own meaning. Every language has its own syntax. Every language has its own semantics. So even in every programming language has their own rules to frame the instructions, to specify the instructions to the computer. So those instructions we will what do you say? We'll write We will learn. We are here to learn those instructions, those syntax and how can we learn those syntax and semantics in core Java. So if we know those rules, then we can write the instructions and we can pass the instructions to the computer. Then computer can execute our program and give the expected result to us. So what is meant by a program here? Program is nothing but set of instructions given by the user like us to the computer. Okay, and now the programming language that what we are going to use is Java. So Java has its own rules and syntax and semantics. Now, so for example, if you, well, I'll explain you know whole thing here. Let me take a small notepad. So for example, so if I have a data like 10 and 20. Okay, so what does it mean? So I have two data variables 10 and 20. How I can represent the data in the program? So whenever we write the program majorly for two purposes. So one is to represent the data and the other one is to perform some functionality on the data. Now here I have is, so this is data for me, and what the operation I want to do? I want to do 10 plus 20. Okay.
Yeah.
So if I want to do this using a program, so what should I do is, if I just say 10, my program can't understand. So you should know something called as data representation. How can you represent your data to the program? So data representation, we represent the data by using a concept called as variables. And variables is something like an identifier to hold the data. And that data, you have to specify what type of data that it is going to store. For example, I may have a variable called as a. I can give a value called as 10. What does it mean? Is equal to 10 means the value 10 will be assigned to a variable called as a. Now a variable hold a value called as 10. So, and I can take another variable called as b is equal to 20. How can I specify? Like a variable can hold only integer data, only float kind of data, like okay, only decimal values or characters or strings or some boolean values. How can I specify the type of data that what the variable is going to store? By using something called as data types. Okay, so in Java we
Yeah.
have many data types like int, which is used to specify integer data type. We have decimals like float and long decimals like double. You have long integer, you have short, and you have byte as well, and you have character, you have boolean. We have majorly 8 primitive data types in, these are called as primitive data types. Okay, so these are which are used to represent the type of data that a variable is going to store. For example, if I say int a is equal to 10, what does it mean? I have declared a variable, this is called as declaration. See, just see here, if I just give int a, and every instruction in Java have to be ended with a semicolon. Okay, so this is called as declaration of a variable. Why do I need a variable to represent the data? So I'll give some a is equal to 10. What does it mean? This is called as definition. Defining a definition of a variable, defining a value to a variable. Okay, now what does it mean? Like a is equal to 10, a is equal to 20 or something. So this variable, if I do both these declaration and definition in the same line, at the time of declaration itself I can do definition. This is called as initialization. I can also do this. Now what I will do here is, so I have declared a variable called as a, which is of data type integer, which means a can hold only integer data. I can change it. Now initially the value is 10. Now I can assign 20. Tomorrow I can assign a is equal to 30. Anything, I can change the a value. It is mutable. It is mutable, okay, changeable, okay. But can I do like this? A is equal to 4.5. No, we cannot do it because a cannot hold the float values because its data type is declared as integer, right?
Yeah.
Its data type is
Yes.
declared as integer. So I cannot give it here like the variable value as c. I cannot give it like this. It cannot hold a character. It cannot hold strings. I cannot give Srikanth. I cannot give like this. Why? Because
Yeah.
a variable is a integer data type, so it can hold only integer data. So whenever so if I want to take string data, then I have to another string is not a data type, actually it's a class in Java. So if I want to take another variable, yes, now I can give its value as Srikanth. So depending upon the type of data that you want to represent, you have to define the variables according to their data types. So got it? So are you clear with the data representation and data types?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Now, once my data is available, now I have variable a is equal to 10, and also I have another variable called as, so I can see int a comma b. Now I'll give b is equal to 20. Okay. So both declaration of variables are done, and then definition of variables are also done. Okay. Now both are done.
Yes.
So what I do, I have data ready with me. So I want to do some functionality. That is why I write a program. Functionality in Java will be written either in C, we will be writing the functionality logic only inside the functions. But in Java, whenever you want to write the program, you can do functionality on the variable data only inside the methods. You cannot write such kind of, for example, functionality means a plus b. A plus b is also a manipulation of data. So I'm doing some functionality on the data. This functionality also cannot be done outside the methods. It should be done inside functions only. You understand? So let's see
Yes, sir.
how the functions can be declared. We cannot say it as functions. In Java, we can call it as methods. So let's see how methods can be declared in Java. So in Java, methods can be declared like this. Okay. So any name followed with the open and closed parenthesis is said to be called as a method. Method name can be given anything by you, but generally the starting character of the method will be in small case. Okay, in small case.
Is it
Any
mandatory, sir? Yeah, need to
but
be in small case or
method name
it's a
should
best
be in
practice?
small case. If I give method name like, for example, add addition, if I have multiple words in the method name, you please maintain the common coding standards, like, okay, from second word onwards the starting letter should be in capital. See,
Okay, okay.
if you have not followed these rules, I can give everything in small case, nothing wrong. I can
Yeah.
give starting letter as capital also, nothing wrong, but that is not a good programming practice.
Okay, okay.
With the coding standards are, it will compile, it will execute, but still the coding standards are maintaining like a small letter for the function starting and just a capital letter for every method.
Okay, okay.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, good. Now I have a method called as add. I'll open this method body by using a flower brace and close the method body by using the other flower brace. Okay. Now inside method, I can take another variable. So I can do, for example, I'll do a plus b. What is a plus b? 10 plus 20. That result have to be stored. It is 10 plus 20 is again 30. 30 is also a data. So that
Yeah.
also have to be represented by a variable. So that's why I'll take another variable called as c is equal to. So a plus b will be done and the result will be stored in c. Now the c data type I have to define. So just give int c. So what does it mean? It makes a sense for me. I have declared a method to do some functionality on the data. Where is my data? In a and b variable. What functionality I want to do? I want to do addition. So I did the addition and the result I have stored in another data variable, right? And this method, who is calling this method? So if, for example, if I am calling this, see, someone have to invoke this method. The one who is invoking this method can expect some functionality to be done in this method and the result have to be returned back to the user. So using a return statement, I can return the value that whatever to the caller. Okay, to the caller. For example, here I am returning what type? I'm returning variable c. What does it mean? I'm returning a data type integer. So I can give the return type preceding to method declaration. Yes. Return keyword is used to return some value from the calling area to the caller, and you should specify the corresponding return data type preceding to your method declaration. If you are not returning anything, then you should use a return type called as void. Void means I am not returning anything.
Okay.
So variables used to represent the data and it holds the data. Methods used to perform functionality logic on the data. Okay, this functionality logic, like, yeah, see, for example, I think many of you people are aware of C programming. Anyone who don't know even C programming, the basics?
So basics, I
Like
know.
if statement, if else statement, while loop,
Yes, yes.
switch case, for loop. Are you aware of these basics?
I,
That is what I'm expecting, nothing more than that.
I know Srikanth. This really.
I want the handshake from everyone so that, okay, I can skip that. Generally, what I'll do, I'll write a condition. If a greater than 5, then I can proceed with c is equal to a plus b. So I want to do addition, okay, only if this condition is met. You understand?
Yes.
Else, I want to do c is equal to a minus b. Sorry, yeah, b minus a. I want to do something like this. So I can write my own if condition. If so and so condition is true, if a is greater than 5, then only this instruction will be happen. If not, means else condition, then only this instruction will be executed. You understand what I mean? So general for loop, for loop, what does it mean? For example, I have a variable like for, I can give a variable like I is equal to 0. This is the starting value. Now I will give a condition I less than 5. Then I will give for every iteration do I plus plus, means increment by 1. So here inside I'll do, so I have something called as println statement. Println. Now I'll do I value is hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here if you see, what does it mean? This for loop means, say for initial starting value of I is 0. So I is equal to 0, and now I'm checking the condition. In the for loop, I have 3 arguments. The first one is called as, before semicolon, first one is called as initialization, where I will declare initialize a variable. Now this is called as condition. The middle statement is called as condition I less than 5. And I plus plus is the iteration statement. For every iteration, this will be called. So for every iteration, I will be checking the second statement and third statement only. First statement will be done only first time. So first time when I is equal to 0, yes. I less than 5, is 0 less than 5? Yes, condition is true. Now I will go inside the loop and I will print an output called as I value is 0. Now, is my loop is terminated? No, not terminated. Now I will go to the next iteration. I will do I plus plus. What does it mean? I is equal to I plus 1. Initially it is 0. Now 0 plus 1 how much? 1. Now again I will check the condition. Is 1 less than 5? Correct. So again I will come inside the loop. Now I will display the output as I value is 1. So similarly, I will display next iteration I value is 2, I value is 3, I value is 4, and I value is 5. When, see, I have given 5 less than 5, is it condition true? No. 5 equal to 5, but 5 not less than 5. That the condition fails, which means our control will come out of the for loop. So we have control statements in C. The same control statements are there in Java. To write your logics, to write your conditions, you have if condition, if else, logic for loop. Similar to for loop, we have something called as while loop. While loop, what does it will do? If I have a greater than 5 or a less than 5, as long as a value is 5, the set of statements that what you write inside this while loop, if I will be writing some set of statements here, some statements. So any statements that you write inside while loop will be continuously iterated and executed. Till what time it will be executed? Till this condition get failed. For example, here I will say before while loop my a value is 0, and inside while loop I will say a plus plus. What does it mean? So for every iteration a will be incremented by 1 till it reaches a value of 1. The while loop will be keep on calling. Got it?
Yeah.
So guys, you understood like the basic controlling statements. These for loop, while loop, if else, all these are called as controlling statements, which is used to handle the control. Control means your cursor man. Okay. My program, even though I write set of instructions in the program, you should know the starting point, you should know the ending point, and the order of executing your statements. So the control will jump from one position to other position. So you can specify that using controlling statements, and you can based on some conditions only you can execute your coding. You can do calculations on the data. Is that clear?
Yes, yes,
Clear.
sir. Clear.
Yeah. Shall we go to the next topic? Now,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
here in
Yes,
Java,
sir.
let's see something with classes and interfaces. So what does interfaces mean?
Srikanth sir, one information. Another girl, Pagyalashmi from Chennai is also joining. So just
Yeah, please ask
for your
it.
information. Okay.
And she
Thank
is
you.
also not aware of Java, right?
Yeah, she's just now passed out from Sedu Institute of Technology. So she know a little bit, I think so.
CSC background.
Yeah, she has a background.
Okay, good. So I think then she can. We no need to wait for her. She knows the basics. Right? She can join in the middle.
Okay. Yeah, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Give me a minute. Have some water and come back. Yes, right. Like say in Java, generally what we do is we write the programs either in terms of classes or interfaces. Okay, so if you write the program, say if someone asks you to write a program in Java, so what will you do? So you have to write the program either as a class or an interface. Generally we prefer classes. Okay, so because interfaces, it contains all abstract methods. What is abstract, why we don't use interfaces much, everything I'll tell you slowly. Okay, so if I want to write a program in Java, what should I do? So I can write my program only as a class. Okay, so a class can be written, a program in Java can be written using a keyword called as class and give some class name. But always the class name should be starting with capital letter. Even though if you give small case, not a problem, but that is not the good programming standards. Okay, so for example, I have a class name called as example. So that class can be created by using a keyword called as class. Okay, and the class body will be opened with a flower brace and it will be closed with a flower brace. Okay, what does the program contains? Why do I need to write a program? To do some operation on the data. So which means my program should contain data variables and it also should contain data methods, isn't it? So every class is said to be called as a class is a template that hold data members. Both data variables and data methods are said to be called as data members. So I can declare variables here. For example, int a is equal to 10 and I can declare another variable int b is equal to 20. Okay, now in data methods, I'll write a method now, void add. So I have some access specifiers. What is access specifiers? I'll tell you slowly. So I will use this access specifier as public. What does it mean is this method can be called from anywhere. So now I will open the method declaration. I have taken a method name called as add. Open the method body. Inside method body, I will do int c is equal to, okay, int c, I have taken a variable c is equal to a plus b. Now I can display the output. I have a method called as println method inside the system class out object println method. Why system.out.println? I will tell you that explanation after some time. Okay, I want to display something to the user on the screen. I can write that content inside the println method. So here I will say, if I write that content in inverted quotes as it is, it will be displayed. Hi Srikanth, addition of A and B is. Now I will close the inverted quotes, which means whatever the content that is there in the inverted quotes as it is, it will get displayed on the screen. And I'll use some plus operator. Plus here it means concatenation operator. To this information which is there in the double quotes, to this string I'm adding a value. So that's why I'm concatenating a value. I'll use a plus operator. Here plus is said to be called as concatenation. What is the result is there? Result is there in variable C. So I'll close this instruction. I'll close the method. Now I have data variables ready. I have the method ready. Inside method, I'm doing c is equal to a plus b, and I'm displaying that output to the user. Output will be displayed as follows. Hi Srikanth, addition of a and b is 30. Like that, the output should come. Now, I have data with me, I have methods with me, but there should be a starting point in the program where we will decide what should be called, when should be called. For all Java programs, for all Java classes, the starting point is main method. So that main method, similar to your C language, here also we have main method. but that main method syntax looks like this: public static void main. Since it is a method main, it has open and closed parenthesis. Now inside main method, by default, it has a string array arguments, some variable. Okay, so why I have given syntax like this? Okay, that is, I'll tell you why what is public, what is static, void. Okay, since this method is not going to return anything, that's why my return type is void. And this method has some arguments. What is arguments and what is this arrays? So I'll tell you slowly. Okay, now I have taken a main method. Inside main method, if you want to access the members of a class, you should create the object to the class. Please remember, to access the members of a class, what are the members we have? We have data variables and data methods. So how many variable members are there here? I have member data variable A, B and add. I have 3 members. You can access these 3 members of a class by using object of a class. To access the members of a class, we should create its object. Okay, how to create the object of a class? The class name space object name is equal to new keyword. Again give the class name, open and close the parenthesis, give semicolon. So what is this method? Sir, you told like set of characters followed with open and closed parenthesis is a method. Yes. Here I have a method with a class name. Class name itself I have a method. What is that it is called as? It is called as constructor. So for what constructors is used, I'll tell you in some time. Okay. Now let's see how to create an object. Object, what is my object name? I have given it as E. You can give anything. But for which class I am creating object? Example class. So class name space give some object name is equal to new keyword. New keyword allocates memory to the object. And I am calling the constructor of the class at the time of object creation. Now, using dot operator, I can invoke, I can access the members of a class. So inside object E, I have 3 members. I have A, I have B, I have add. So when I say E dot add, when I call this method, now the method add method will be called. You cannot call add method directly. You can call the add method only using objects of that class. This add method is there inside the class example. So I should create an example class object and object name dot method name, which is used to accessing member of a class. This is how you should do. Object name dot object dot member. This is the syntax. This is the rule you should follow. Okay, for example, if I want to display to the user like system dot out dot println, I want to say a value is I want to display a value. How can I get a value? If I say a, will the value will be displayed? No. What should I do? Object name dot a, because a, b, add, everything is now is inside objects. You can access the members of a class only through objects. This is a very important and basic point. If you just understand this point, this program, you are very good with Java. Very good with Java. That's enough. In Java, program can be written in terms of classes. In classes, class contains data variables, data methods. Variables hold and represent data. Methods hold and represent functionality. Either variables or methods is said to be called as data members. These members of a class can be accessed, can be called only by using objects. And the way how you create the object for the class is class name space object name is equal to new space call the constructor of the class. And using object name dot the corresponding member name in the class, you can access the members of the class. So if I want to display variable b variable value, how can I do that?
Sir, you are not audible. Srikanth, sir.
Yeah, I'm audible. Like, so now
Yes, now.
I can display the value b value as well. Okay. So if I want to call add method, now I don't call it here. I'll call it here. Okay. Now I want to display to the user some message like addition of A and B is. Now I'll call e.add. So my execution first, when I run this program, the control starts from this line, from main method onwards. First it will go to create the object, then it will display A value is 10, B value is 20, then it display A addition of A and B is, and then it will call the method. So control will jump from this point to, now it will go to add method. Inside add method, it will create a variable C, A is equal to A, C is equal to A plus B means 10 plus 20, and then it will display the output like, hi Srikanth, addition of A and B is 20. So can we run this program and then see how the output comes? Shall we?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So we have some ID editor called as Eclipse. Okay, so you just have to install Java. I think Java installation and Eclipse. I think Raman, they are already aware.
No, sir. I will let them know. No issue.
Yeah, because we have to install Java software in our computer. It is just download the software, double click that software. If we say next, and okay, it will be installed. After that, you have to set the path. How to set the path? Okay, I think Raman will help you out. You have many videos also. It's a very simple step. Right click on your my computer, go to environment variables, and then there is a path variable. You just have to edit your Java path there. Okay. Now, once the Java is installed, to develop our projects, to write our code, to build to develop the code actually for our projects, we have an editor which is called as IDE, Integrated Development Environment, where you can develop multiple languages, multiple projects. So I have an editor. So many editors are there in the market. I'm using Eclipse. So this Eclipse IDE, depending on your machine, if it is your machine is 32-bit or 64-bit motherboard, depending on that, you can download the corresponding Eclipse version and then you can open it. It looks like this. Once you open, now you can create a new project. See, go to File, go to New, create Java project. So I'm going to create a project. So I can give some name to my project. I can say, okay, online demo. Some project name I can give and just say finish. When I click finish button, see here on my right hand side screen, I got online demo project is created. Inside this project, there is a folder by default that is called as SRC folder. SRC means source. This is the folder where I will be writing my classes. Okay, so right click on this folder. Right click on this folder. I'll go for new class. I'm going to create a new class. What is my class name? Example. Do you need main method? Yes, you can just tick this option and say finish. See, example.java class automatically created, and it created a package called as online demo. Okay, which means under online demo package is nothing but collection of classes. I can keep some set of classes in a single package. Okay, and you can define a package using a keyword called as package. For example, next class if I take abc.java, so all Java programs, all classes should be saved with a extension called as .java. Okay, so if I take another program called as abc.java, what happens is that class also I want to keep it in the same package. So at the starting of the program in abc class, you just give a keyword called as package space, just give the same package name. So both of them will be in the same package. Okay, now okay, now inside example class, what should I do? In int a is equal to 10, I'll take another variable int b is equal to 20. Okay, variable declaration is done, and I'll take a method public void add Okay, addition of A and B is, where is my output? My output is in concatenation operator, give the value C. So the addition should be done here, right? So I'll take a local variable C. C is equal to A plus B. See, this C variable, its a lifetime exists in between this parenthesis and this parenthesis. This variable C cannot be accessed outside this method, add method, because all where these variables, say variable A, its a life scope exists between the starting clever brace and ending clever brace. Got it? So every variable or every method has its own boundaries or scope. Okay. Now I have declared variables, I have declared method as well. What should I do? How can I execution starts from main method. So I want to call this method add. How can I do that? Using
Objects.
creating an object. So class name space object name is equal to new class name. Okay. Now object, how can I invoke the members of the class? Object name dot add.
Method.
Control S, save my program. Now if I want to run my program, right click on my computer, right click on my program, go for something called as run as a Java application. So can you see this output on the console? Addition of A and B is 30. Understood?
Yes, sir.
All of you. Do you have any doubts?
No doubt, sir. Simply super.
No, sir. It's clear.
Clear, right? Good. Now, because if you understand this basic program, rest of all the concepts, I just gonna change this program. I will do a little bit. I'll just play with this program. I'll introduce every topic if only with this program only, this simple basic program only.
Okay.
Because I'll do a lot of changes in this program, and I will demonstrate you the rest of the topics in Java. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now we'll see here, why do we need constructors? What is a constructor? Constructor is a method whose name is equal to class name. Correct? Is this correct? Yes. Definition? Here my constructor is example. It is followed with open and closed parenthesis, which means it's a method whose method name is equal to class name. That's why it is not a normal method, it is a constructor. And why constructors are required, and why I am calling the constructor only at the time of object creation? That's another question, right? So what should I do is, so if I want to create this object, so at the time of object creation only I am creating the constructor. So what should I do is, the reason behind this, for example, I have declared the variables A, I have declared the variable B, and I have this add method also. My execution starts here at main method. This is the starting point. I will create an object dot add method. So from this method the control will jump to here. Now it is expecting C is equal to A plus B. Is there any value inside A and B?
No.
So without there is any values in A and B, can I use them?
You can't. We can't.
If you use, okay, it won't have any value, it will give you some garbage error, correct? Some garbage data, some random number it will give, but it won't give you any meaningful data, right?
Yeah.
So what should you do? You should ensure that your data variables is initialized with some value, is defined with some value. So constructors are not mandatory, but for using constructors is a good programming practice. Please remember, constructors are not mandatory, but it is a good programming practice. Now what should I do? You can call add method only if object is there. So at the time of object creation itself, why I should not take the responsibility of initializing the members of a class? I got a doubt. Yes. Why can't I initialize the members only at the time of object creation itself, so that only after object creation only I can access the members, right? So I should take care of variable initialization at the time of object creation itself. So at that time, that's why I'll create a constructor. So this constructor will be called at the time of object creation. So I'll create a constructor here, a method with the class name. Inside this constructor, I will write the logic I will write the code to initialize the variable data. What happens now? The execution starts from main method. Yes. It creates the object. At the time of object creation, it goes to constructor. Yes, the control will come to constructor. Now a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. Variable got defined with some value. Then the control comes back to here. Then now I'm calling add method. So control jumps from here to here. And in add method, I'm doing a plus b, some functionality on the data. And finally, I'm displaying some output to the user. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Now let me run this program. Right click on my program, run as Java application. Addition of a and b is 30. There is no compilation errors. Is that clear? Good. Now, if I am not passing any arguments in the constructor, that is said to be called as default constructor. If I am passing the arguments to the constructor, that is said to be called as parameterized constructor, because I am passing parameters. I can also do like this. I can int 10, 20. I can do like this. What does it mean? At the time of constructor itself, I am passing some values. To match that constructor type, I will write one more constructor, int some p, comma int some q. Now, variable a is equal to value p and b is equal to the value that whatever that q is going to have. What happens? What does it mean? I'm creating an object and I'm passing 10, 20 values to the constructor. There are two methods with the same name. Example also and another example. But one example, this method don't have any arguments. It's a default constructor. This one has arguments. Of two arguments are there and their data type is integer. Like that, I may have multiple methods with the same name. But the method arguments, number of arguments in the method and the data type of the arguments may vary, may change. If I have multiple methods with the same name, that is called as a data overloading, method overloading. Okay?
Okay.
I am overloading the methods, means same method name is there, but only the argument type and number of arguments are getting varied. Now, what is the constructor I am calling? I am calling a constructor with two parameters. Which among these are two parameterized constructors? This one or this one? Second one. Second one. So the first one won't be called. Only second one will be called. So the 10 and 20 I am passing. The first value will be stored automatically into P. The second value 20 will be stored automatically into Q. So now I am saying A is equal to copy the value of P to A, copy the value of Q to B. Now again, after that, I'll call the add method. It will come to here. Now C is equal to A plus B, which means 10 plus 20. Again, it will display the same output. So you have multiple ways to initialize the members. Correct?
Okay.
So you can directly initialize the members. A is equal to 10, A is equal to 20. You can do it using default constructor. You can also do it using parameterized constructor. You have multiple ways to do that. Otherwise, instead of using constructors, I can also do like this. E dot object name dot A is equal to some 20. Object name dot B is equal to 40. Can I do like this? Now,
Yes.
I've called the constructor,
Yes.
so I passed 10 and 20. So it will go here. Now the variable A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. After this method, it comes to the next line. Now I have overridden the value of A. I've changed the value of A to 20 and the B value to 40. And again, now I am calling addition method. Now addition should be 20 plus 40. What does it mean? It should give me the output 60. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Simple.
Yes.
Now, which means Using objects, you can access the variables. Using objects, you can access the methods also. A class is nothing but a structure or a template that has data members, which are nothing but data variables and data methods. Both can be accessed by using the objects of a class and object name dot member name. And these objects can be created only inside main method, because main method is declared as the starting point for the program execution. Do you understand these basics?
Yes, sir.
Very simple.
Yes, sir.
Java is very easy language, very simple language. Not all people know this secret. Many people, they get scared because, okay, rather than believing ourselves, we always depend on others. We always depend on, see, instead of watching the movie directly, we will always ask other friends, how was the movie, how was the review. If he said that he didn't like that movie, the movie was bakwas, you people stop seeing that movie itself. We should have always have our own opinion about everything, right? Because once we watch the movie, we will come to know we may like the movie. He didn't like the movie because his taste is different. We will like the
Yeah.
movie because it's all our efforts, right? Even some people may
Yeah,
find
correct.
difficulty with Java because they may not understand this. They may not have tried understanding Java in a proper way. We like Java very much because we understanding the topics in Java in a proper way, and we keep the things, we load, for example, from the basics we are trying to inject the knowledge of Java into our minds in a what do you say, proper way, step by step, one after another. We are just injecting this information into our mind in a constructed manner. Slowly we are gaining confidence on programming in Java. Slowly we are learning the concepts in Java. Once we have understanding towards a programming language, tomorrow you will definitely try to write the code by yourself. It will take some time. First we should understand the basics. Okay, so far is this clear?
It depends upon the guy who is handling that particular language, sir.
Not like that. It also depends on the associates. Their interest also should be there.
Of what they are interested. So both the thing,
Good.
really very good presentation, sir. Very easy, simple examples to make each and everyone understandable.
Sure, we'll
Sir,
go through the most of the topics in core Java, and all these topics also we will go with a sample example. You just
okay,
have to spend some time with me for probably for another 2 hours. We'll complete the core Java completely. 2 hours is more than enough for me. Core Java, to teach core Java, 3 hours is more than enough. Along with the hands-on, I will teach you, and this Java knowledge
yeah.
is much more enough for us to do map reducing coding in Hadoop. Okay, so now
Okay.
it is 10:55. Okay, by mostly by 1 o'clock we'll close this core Java, and in the afternoon
Okay.
session we'll take a break for lunch hour for 1 hour, and then afternoon session I'll be take session for 1.5 hours or 2 hours. In that session I'll
Okay.
teach you the map reduce concept.
Okay, sir. Okay,
Tomorrow
sir.
we'll go with map reduce coding, map reduce programming, and some
Okay.
POC demonstration.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, now.
Okay.
So at 11:30, probably after another half an hour, I will give you a break for 5 minutes or 10
Okay.
minutes. So we'll
Okay, sir.
close some more topics and then we'll go for a break.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyone is overloaded with the information? Can I
No, 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 no,
can
sir.
we move further?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Simply enjoying what are all things that you are saying.
Method overloading. That's it.
Method overloading, because same methods with multiple method name is same, but arguments and the
Okay.
type of arguments is different. And using method overloading
Okay.
concepts only, we have something called as polymorphism. I'll tell you that slowly. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's get into some topic called as access specifiers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Access specifiers, we have majorly 3 access specifiers in Java. One is public, protected, and private. So what is this public? What is this private and protected? Public is an access specifier. See, it's the name itself says that access specifier. It specifies the access scope of a member of a class, maybe a variable or a method. Okay, so for example, if I give a variable, see generally what happens if I have a package A, then I have another package B. Okay, no, not A, I'll give the package name as some P1 and the package name as P2. I have two packages. Okay, in package A, package 1, I have a class A, I have another class B, I have class C, and I have another class D. In package 2, I have a class called as E, and I have class F, and I have in package 2, I have class G, and I have another class called as H. Okay, now assume that class B is the child class of A. Okay, similarly class F is also the child class of E class. Okay, now for example, if class A is public, the members of class A is public, what does it mean? Can I use a public toilet? Is it restricted to
Yes.
any particular person?
No, we can use.
Right? So if the members of a class A is public, is declared as public, how can I declare it as public? You can see here, this method add is declared as public. I can use protected keyword also. I can use private keyword also. If I say public, which means this add method can be called from anyone. Now I am calling add method by the same class object. I can also call this add method from the child class member B. I can also call this member from the C class, D class, which means other classes. They are not child classes, but they are other classes of the same package. I can also call the public members from other package members also. Isn't it? If a foreigner comes to India, to Chennai, I have a public toilet. Actually, will it be used only by local people?
No, no.
The other
Everyone
country
can
people can also use it. Right? Public means it's open to all. So same class members, child members, other non-child members in the same package, other package members can also access the public members. Okay, if I have declared it as protected, which means the members which is declared as protected can be accessed only within the package.
Okay, sir.
Only that class members, child class members and non-child class members of the same package can be accessed. So if class A is protected, can it be accessed by class E? No, because E class is from the different package. Okay, just like a gated community. You have a gated community, and you have inside gated community, I have a club, I have a swimming pool and gym. In that gated community, I have 150 apartments. All the 150 apartment people can use the gym and swimming pool.
Yes, sir. They can make use.
It's protected. But can it be used by the outside people?
No.
So it is within the package. Now let's take it about a private. Now I have a particular same swimming pool I have constructed in my own flat. Okay, let's assume that it's a bathroom. I have a personal bathroom in my house, in my flat. Can all the gated community people can use my bathroom?
No.
No, definitely no, because that is private. Private means the members of, if they are declared as private, it can be accessed only within the class, inside the class. Even child class members cannot access them.
Oh.
You understand? So they are within the class. Okay, so private within the class, protected within the package, and public anywhere. It defines the scope of the particular data members of the class. Access specifiers. That's what it says. Okay, it specifies the accessing scope. Is that clear? So that's why
Yes, sir.
before we declare variables, sometimes I'll say like this: protected int a. Before I declare the variable, I can use these keywords. If I have not used anything, by default they are public.
Okay.
Okay. So before the method declaration or variable declaration, I'll be using the access specifier because it specifies the access scope for the corresponding members of the class.
Okay.
Okay. Now, why we have something called as string array? I know what is meant by string, but what is this open and closed square braces? What is this open and closed square braces? What does that mean? It says that it is an array. What is an array? Array is nothing but collection of elements of the same data type. For example,
Yeah.
so if I have arrays, I have int a. Now a can hold only one value called as 10. But if I want to take int a of, what does it mean? It is an array, which means it can take some collection of elements, some set of elements, 30, 40, 50. So for example, I'm taking 5 elements. All these 5 data elements can be represented by only one variable called as a.
Yeah.
Okay, with a single variable, I can represent multiple values also, but all these multiple values should be of same data type of integer. So this is array is said to be called as homogeneous collection of elements. Homogeneous means same data type. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Right. So how can I access if I want to only, you see, for example, if object name dot a, I will get value 10. But if I want to access the array values, how can I do? Object name dot a of 0. 0 is nothing but the starting index of the array. Now 20 is at the index 1, 30 is at index 2, 40 is at index 3. So array index elements index starts from 0 to n minus 1, where n is the number of elements in the array. And you can access the element using the a of, give the corresponding index. If whatever may be the value is there in that index, that value will be retrieved. Okay. Now main method by default they have given syntax like main method should have a variable called some a variable, some args variable. This variable data type should be always an array of strings. They have declared like this. Why? Because they have given some syntax, because we have something called as command line arguments. What is meant by command line arguments? Command line arguments means when I am running my program, so I can pass the arguments to the main method from my command prompt. I can do that. So if I want to pass any arguments from the command prompt, I can do that using, and then those arguments, see, if I am passing 10, 20, I am passing those values as a to the method. So this 10, 20 is taken by example constructor. Even to the main method, you can pass some arguments. From where I can pass? From the command prompt I can pass. How can I pass from the command prompt? So if you just go here, on the top you have some arrow mark beside this green color button. If you go for run configurations, you have something called as arguments. Yes, I can pass the arguments like 10, okay,
Yeah.
20. Okay, I can just give 2 values, apply. Okay, now I have given those 2 values. What should I do? Instead of a, what I will do now, I have given 2 values directly in the arguments. Arguments directly will be copied where? See, now if I am giving 10 and 20, these 10 and 20 will be copied in P and Q.
Yeah.
If I want to pass arguments to the main method, these arguments can be passed through command line arguments. I have given 10 and 20 there. So that will be copied automatically into this array. How can I get that? Args of 0. If I say 0, what does it mean? What is the 0th element I am passing?
First number.
10.
First number is
Correct.
Yeah.
And args of 1. What does it mean?
the second number 20.
So here there is a chance, but these arguments are there in which data type?
String.
Data type.
String. What data type I am passing?
Integer.
So A and B is integers. So I should convert that. To convert that, for every primitive data type, there is a predefined class. For integer data type, their integer class is there. Eclipse is very good because if you say class name dot, when you say dot, whatever the methods that is available in the class will be shown automatically. So there is a method called as parse int, which says that even though you pass other data type elements, it will be converted into integer format.
Okay.
So I am passing arguments of 0. What is the arguments of 0? It has a value 10, which is represented in string format. From command line arguments, anything you pass will be considered as a string argument.
Okay, sir.
From command line arguments, anything you pass will be considered as a string argument. That's why that string, I want to copy into a variable a, but a is an integer. I want to do conversion of string to integer. How can I do that? Using integer.parseInt method. Okay. Now, similarly, I will do it here. I am converting this string also into okay.
Yeah.
Now let me run this program and then see the output. Got it?
Yes.
So you can access the arguments data from the command prompt, which means these values will be taken from the runtime. You can take it, but those arguments will be stored automatically in your main method string array args. Whatever the data that you submit, though if I pass not only 10 and 20, if I pass 2.5, 4.6, if I pass characters, if I pass double values, anything you pass from the command line arguments will be taken as strings only, and that strings have to be converted into your required data format. Okay, and you can after conversion you can use them. Okay, now you can ask me why actually everything is, see, though I give 10 and 20 in the arguments, how it is getting represented as strings? Does anyone got that doubt? Because if you see in my arguments, what arguments I'm passing 10 and 20, they are integers.
Yeah.
But they are copied into string variables, which means that integers are converting into strings.
Yeah.
Who is doing that conversion? Why that is happening? By default, for all the classes that we write, the parent class is object class. Okay, one second.
Okay.
One second.
ఇది ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ ఎలా రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాలి
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಿ ಯಾರೋ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ लेना வெளியில ஜாவாசி கம்பெனி பண்றீங்க வந்து பாஸ் கம்பெனி பண்றீங்க ஜாவாசி ஜாவா ப்ரோக்ராம்னு கொடுக்குறீங்களா பக்கத்தில் ஆரம்பி Sir, are you talking, sir? Srikanth, sir?
ఇంకా బ్రష్ చేయలేదు సార్.
Double 9 639 60 9 అంటే ఏంటి? 639 60 9 సరే నేను చేస్తాను. పేరండి? థ్యాంక్స్. డబల్ 9 639 60 9.
ఎందుకు సార్ ఇలా రావా?
ఇప్పుడు
ఇప్పుడు మామూలుగా ఫస్ట్ మనం క్లాస్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత ఇక్కడ పబ్లిక్ అని చెప్పి ఇంటిజర్ ఏ వాల్యూ బి వాల్యూ ఇచ్చేసి ఈ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ రాయకుండా నార్మల్ ఐ మీన్ ఈ రెండు స్కిప్ చేసిన ఇక్కడికి వెళ్ళిపోద్ది. సో యాడ్ యాక్షన్ తీసుకుంటున్నాం.
యాడ్ యాక్షన్ జరగదు, ఎప్పుడు ఇలా ఏం ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవ్వదు.
అంటే ఒకసారి ఫస్ట్ ఏ వాల్యూ తీసుకున్నాం, బి వాల్యూ తీసుకున్నాం, క్రియేట్ చేస్తాం, ఏకి అసైన్ చేస్తాం, బికి అసైన్ చేస్తాం. సో నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటంటే మనం యాడ్ ఫంక్షన్ అనేది చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాం, యాడ్ ఫంక్షన్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాం కాబట్టి సో ఇది రాసుకున్నాం, యాడ్ ఏ ఇంట్ సి ఈక్వల్ టు ఏ ప్లస్ బి. సో సిస్టమ్ ప్రింట్ అవుట్ డాట్ ఇక్కడికి వచ్చేటప్పటికి మనం క్లాస్ని కాల్ చేసుకున్నాం. ఇది కాల్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత
ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఫస్ట్ లైన్ ఆఫ్ ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఎక్కడ అనుకుంటాం?
ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ కాదు వస్తుంది, క్లాస్ తర్వాత ఇది వస్తుంది. సో ఈ డాట్ యాడ్ అనగానే యాడ్ కాల్ అవుతుంది కదా. అప్పుడు ఏ వాల్యూ అసైన్ అయిన దానికి ఆల్రెడీ ఇనిషియల్గా ఏ వాల్యూ అసైన్ చేస్తుంది. సో ఏ ప్లస్ బి ఈక్వల్ టు సి వాల్యూ ఇక్కడ ప్రింట్ అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు అలా కాకుండా స్టార్టింగ్ ఇక్కడ మనం ఏ వాల్యూ ఇవ్వాల, ఇంటిజర్ వాల్యూ ఇవ్వాల, బి వాల్యూ అసైన్ చేసుకోవాలి. సో ఇక్కడ అసైన్ చేసుకున్నాం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అనేది, అంటే క్లాస్లో ఏ వాల్యూ ఇచ్చాం, బి వాల్యూ ఇచ్చాం. సో రాగానే ఇక్కడ మనకి ఏమవుతుంది, నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్లోకి అంటే ఫస్ట్ ఇది కాల్ చేసుకుంటుంది, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ కాల్ చేసుకొని దాని తర్వాత ఈ డాట్ యాడ్ అంటే ఈ ఆల్రెడీ మనం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అసైన్ చేసాం. సో ఈలో ఎగ్జాంపుల్లో ఏ వాల్యూ ఉంది, బి వాల్యూ ఉంది, అది కాల్ చేసుకున్న తర్వాత ఇక్కడ యాడ్ ఫంక్షన్ పెర్ఫామ్ చేస్తుంది. అంతే కదా. అంటే మనం ఎన్ని విధాలుగా రాసుకోవచ్చు.
కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ యూజ్ చేశాడు ఆయన.
అవును, ఏంటంటే కమాండ్ ప్రాంప్ట్ లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయి
యూజువల్లీ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ యూజ్ చేయడం మామూలు మెథడ్ లో కూడా నువ్వు వాల్యూ అసైన్ చేయొచ్చు, దాంట్లో ఏ వాల్యూ బి వాల్యూ ఏంటని అసైన్ చేయొచ్చు.
సో ఇది వచ్చేటప్పటికి కన్స్ట్రక్టివ్ మెథడ్. ఈ పర్టికులర్ లైన్,
ఏ పర్టికులర్ లైన్ ఇదంతా కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ కాదు.
అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనం కన్వర్ట్ చేసాం కదా,
ఇదే కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ ఇస్ ఎ మెథడ్ విత్ ద సేమ్ నేమ్ విత్ నో డేటా టైప్. కన్స్ట్రక్టర్ మెథడ్ నేమ్ చూసాం అనుకో, ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అనే ఉంటుంది. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ అనే మెథడ్ టైప్ పబ్లిక్ ఉండదు, వాయిడ్ ఉండదు, రిటర్న్ టైప్ ఉండదు, ఏ ఉండదు. ఇది డిఫాల్ట్ కండక్టర్, కన్స్ట్రక్టర్. ఇది పారామీటరైజ్ కన్స్ట్రక్టర్.
Sorry guys, I got a call from my home, that's why. Yeah. So shall we start back? Hello? Hello? Guys, can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Yes sir, Srikanth sir, I am here.
Sorry, I got a call from my home, that's why. You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Good. So we have seen the constructors and we have seen the command line arguments as well, right? So now we will start with object-oriented programming features. Okay.
We have yet to discuss why it is a string.
Correct. Yeah, I have a short time memory loss. Please bear with me. We were discussing about that why it is string, right? See, the parent class for any program what we write, okay, for them the default parent class is object class. Okay. And inside the object class, there is a method called as a toString method.
Okay.
So this method automatically converts any input argument to your main method into string. That is the reason.
Okay.
So this is internal Java behavior. Okay. So what the thing you have to remember is what is the default parent class for every Java class is object class.
Object.
Okay. And default parent package for every Java program is java.lang package.
Okay, sir.
So for example, in Java, if I want to display today's date, Java is a rich set of APIs. Java is a very rich set of APIs. API means application programming and interface, which means some collection of classes and interfaces. So close to 1.5 lakh methods and classes are there in core Java itself.
Wow.
So more
In
than
that.
1.5 lakhs of classes and interfaces, and around 13 lakh methods are there, 1 3.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah.
it possible for us to remember all those classes and interfaces? It's not possible.
Definitely. Yeah.
So for example, they have categorized each packages depending on their types. For example, all language related classes and all, they kept it inside a package called a java.lang. All network related
Okay.
classes and interfaces, they have kept inside net package. All IO related,
Yeah.
like input and output related, okay, it is
Yeah.
they kept it under IO package. Graphical user interface related, they kept it in AWT package. Okay, so
Okay.
like that they have categorized the classes and interfaces.
Okay.
So so what we should do is, now this package, see, for example, if we can't remember all those classes, so we will go for Java documentation. For example, let me open it here. So I'll say java.doc. If you go open Java documentation, see, you have all packages on your left hand side on the top. You have
Yeah.
AWT package, IO package, okay, lang package. Inside lang package,
Yeah.
what and all classes are there? When you click on lang package, here the interfaces and classes in that package will be displayed. So there is a class called as
Okay.
object class, right? When I click on that class, on your right hand side, you will get the description about that class. And inside that
Yeah.
class, what are the methods available? Inside that method, see, there is a method called as toString. Returns the string representation of the object. Got it?
Okay. Okay.
For
Okay.
example,
Yes, sir.
why they have given all these classes and interfaces? Because they are rich set of API. Because of these existing classes, existing methods, I no need to write the code again for the same functionality. I can use the existing code itself. Java is very simple because Java provides us the rich set of APIs. For example, if I want to display today's date, if I want to display today's date,
Okay.
what will I do? In C language, I have to write the code. 7 to 8 lines of code I
Yeah.
should write. But in Java, that is very
Yeah.
simple task, because in util package, there is a package named
Yeah.
util package, and there is a class called as date class. See here, there is a class called as date. When I click
Yes.
on date class, inside date class, there is a method called as get date method.
Yeah.
Get month, get time. There is a method called as get date. Can you see this?
Yeah. Yes.
This
Yes.
method gives the description, like this returns the day of the month.
Yeah.
So if I have this method already available, why should I write my code? Not necessary.
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
got a doubt, like how can I use these existing methods in
Yes.
my program?
Yes.
So to use the existing methods, what should I do is, first I should import that package in my program. Now which package I want to
Okay.
import? Java.util package.
Yeah.
When I say dot means inside, star means all. So I'm going to import
Okay.
all. Import is a keyword used to import all the classes in util package into my program.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
inside this class, I'm going to use a method. See which method I want to use? Get date method. Any method
Yeah.
can be accessed only using objects.
Yeah.
So I should create the object for date class. So date, the class name is some object name is equal to new constructor, right? Is this the way how to create the object
Yeah.
for the class?
Yeah.
Yes. Object name
Yeah.
dot get date. Now I want to display today's date on the screen. System dot
Yeah.
out dot println, and the output itself, I am going to display this date. D dot get date, it will return the date, and that one I am displaying in the output. So that's why I kept it inside println statement.
Okay.
So right click on this program. Today is 16th. Is it right?
Yes.
Correct? So it got displayed. So did I written any
Yeah.
code here to display today's date?
No.
I've just,
Simply
rather I
we
just
take this
used,
off.
I've just used existing APIs I've imported the existing package and declared an object for the class that what I want, and using that object I have just invoked the methods what is already available.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yes, sir.
one second. Fine. So what is that? So we have gone through. So for example, now you have another question in your mind. Okay, Srikanth, you know Java and you come to know that yes, I have date class in util package. And how do you come to know?
Yeah. From-
So tomorrow, you might have seen Rajnikanth movie Shivaji. In the climax, he will be opening the laptop. To open the laptop, he will be using speech recognition technology. Correct? He will say Shivaji, cool the
Yeah.
boss. Then automatically the laptop will get recognize these words and then it will open. Correct?
Yeah.
If I ask you, could you please develop a speech recognition application in Java? So will you write the code from scratch? You don't need to do that. You can use
Yeah.
many of the functionalities that what you want to use, you want to implement might be already defined in Java. You just have to use them. Only certain
Yeah.
functionalities. See, only two things are possible. First thing is, if the functionality what you are expecting is already there, use it. If it is not
Yeah.
there, you have to write your logic.
Okay. Okay.
And the third possibility is also there. If the functionality is already there, but you are not completely satisfied with the existing functionality, you just have to modify it a bit and then write your own code.
Okay.
Correct? So these three
Three ways.
possibilities are
Yeah.
there. Blindly I want to use the existing functionality, write my own functionality, or I can use the existing functionality with small changes that I can edit it and then I can use it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So these three functionalities I can do. So for that, what I will do, so you can, when we don't know which API it belongs to, which package it belongs to, which class it belongs to, so what should I do? Always we people are said to be called as gods. Correct?
Good.
All of you,
Yeah.
including myself, okay, all of we people belongs to, we are called as God, Google oriented developer.
Yeah.
Right? Simple. So we will go to Google. I'll ask it speech recognition application in Java. Now it gave me a package called as Java Speech API. Yes, I came to know the API name. Java Speech API documentation. Again, Google it. Yes, I got it. I'll go here. Yes, I have a package called as Java Speech. Very good. Inside that package, there are another classes. Oh, there are many classes here. Speech event, speech permission, audio exception. Okay. For example, if I want a speech event, what does it mean? What does this class will do? Just go through some enough information about it. Inside that, I have many methods. Yes, is there any method that can help me? If not this package, okay, let's go for speech recognition. Okay, there is something called as recognizer interface. Inside this, what does see recognizer provides access to speech recognition capabilities.
Yeah.
So inside this, is there any method that can help me out? So scroll down. Yes, there are a lot of methods available. So here you may find any method, get speaker manager, get the rules and grammar. Using some
Yeah.
of these methods, the syntax and all, you can identify the method which is suitable for your requirement and you can use them in your program. Just by using Googling, you can identify the API name. If you know the API name, you have the Java documentation already available. If you have the documentation, you'll come to know what method you have to use and use the method just, and then you can close your functionality. You can close your coding. If you know the Java basics, if you know how to Google for your requirement, based on your requirement, enough. You are a very good Java programmer, believe me.
Okay.
Okay, good. Because that's why Java
Yeah.
is said to be called as 70% component based, 30% custom based. Because the component
Yeah.
based means existing APIs are already there. 30% custom
Yeah.
based. Only we will write. We have to know how to use them and how to proceed further.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, good. Now let's go to object oriented programming features. we have actually Java features are there. Many people will say there are many Java features are there. Java is simple, Java is secured, Java is portable, Java is object oriented, Java is robust, Java is multi-threaded, Java is architecturally neutral, Java is interoperable, Java is distributed, Java is high performance, and Java is dynamic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Java is simple. Is it simple to understand the syntax wise?
Yes, sir.
Every program starts with a class keyword, and a body starts with flower brace and closes with flower brace. Method declaration starts with again the same some keyword with open and closed parenthesis and a body of the method. Is it simple to understand?
Yes. Yes,
Good.
very simple.
So every program what you write, for example, if I have written an example program, that program have to be saved with Java extension. How can I compile my program using a keyword called as Java C? Since you are executing in Eclipse, you are not actually typing these commands. But when you run this program using command line prompt, you just generally have to compile this program like this. Java C means Java compiler and give program name. What happens is this program automatically gets converted into example.class.
Yeah.
Example.java program will be converted into example dot class. So this class has only the, for example, see now my if you see this program, when I compile my program, it will give me a dot class code. That dot class file contains some binary code, which byte code actually, that cannot be understandable directly by us. It can be understandable only by the machines.
Okay.
So all these existing APIs, these Java people, they developed those 150,000 classes and interfaces. They provide us only the dot class files. They don't give us the source code.
Okay.
Because if they give the source code to us, we will modify it and then we will misuse it, right?
Yeah.
More than that, there will be no standardization for the technology. So to leverage it, to standardize the existing classes, they have defined the code and they are just given the dot class files to us. So using these dot class files, you could able to run the program and see the output, but you cannot change the program again.
Yeah.
So now to run my program, I'll say Java keyword space, I'll just give example. No need to give dot class because by default it is a Java command can run only class files.
Okay. Okay.
So these existing APIs are dot class files only. They won't give the source code to us because we cannot modify the original source code. Java is secured because they will share only dot class files to us. You have a provision. You can write the project, you can build the project, and finally you can generate the dot class files. You can share the dot class files to your friend. You can ask him to use the project code, project application. He can run the output and he can see the output. But he cannot see the code because your Java programming is secured. Through the concept of dot class files. Class files contains byte code, which can be understandable only by your machine hardware. It can run the program, but cannot open the code. In this way, Java is secure. And once you compile the program, you can give the program to your friend. Your friend can carry the program to anywhere. He can carry the program to UK and then he can execute there. Won't it get executed? And is it simple to carry? Easy to carry? Is it so weight actually too much weight to carry?
No.
No, right? It's a simple program. So class files are portable, easy to carry anywhere.
Yeah.
Java is object oriented because every program, though you have data members, you cannot access those members without objects.
Yeah.
I have variable A, variable B, variable add method. You have everything in the class, but can you access them?
No, we need
You need objects. So these objects possess certain features. They are object oriented programming features. So those programming features are nothing but, okay, they are encapsulation. I'll tell you what is encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. I'll tell you these features, okay? Slowly I'll tell you one by one. Encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. Right. So these features I'll explain you. Okay. Robust. What does that robust mean is, like, for example, uh, if if I'm executing my program and somewhere if I got user have entered a wrong input, and if it displays an error which user can't understand, do you think it's meaningful?
Yeah. No.
In a bank, it will ask you, please enter account number. You entered your name. Then immediately it should give you a message, right? Please enter your account number properly.
Yeah.
Instead of that, if it gives you, see, earlier programming language, they blindly give you some message, some error warning, some error messages which user cannot understand, a programmer can understand.
Yeah.
So, but Java, you don't have that problem because Java is robust. You can handle these kind of scenarios by using exception handling topic. You know which block of code is going to throw an error, throw an exception to the user. So when such instructions comes, what is the precaution measures that you should take? What exception message that you should display to the user? You can handle such kind of scenarios using exception handling. I'll tell you how to handle exceptions now.
Okay.
And multi-threaded, you can execute multiple programs parallelly.
Yeah.
Java in UK, Java in India is different. Everything is same, architecturally neutral. Interoperable.
Okay.
You can develop one business application and you can develop another web application or enterprise application. Both applications can handshake each other.
Okay.
Say APS RTC is there, IRCTC is there, okay, I can book the train ticket. At the end, and you have something like payment gateway and you have banking application. Banking application and IRCTC application both are integrated to provide a service to the user, right?
Yeah.
So such kind of applications you can do. You can integrate your Java application with other applications. Interoperability. Yes, Java supports distributed architecture because multiple programs can run in multiple machines parallelly in a network.
Yeah.
When multiple programs are running parallelly, obviously it is said to be called as it is giving you high performance.
Yeah.
Okay, and you have something called as dynamic, because dynamically it can accept the user inputs and it can process your code accordingly. I'll tell you like how dynamically you can accept the input from the user. I'll just see, there is a package called as IO package. Let me take that package. Import java.io.star. In this package, I have some predefined classes. Actually, to read input from the user, I'm not going to use, to comment this code, I can just give this line. Double slash says that commenting that line. What I will do now is, I have a class called as, I have a method called as read line. For example, e.a is equal to integer dot parse int of, which means I'm going to convert string into integer. So there is a method called as read line. See, this method which is used to read a line of input from the user from the command prompt. But this read line method is there in a class called as buffered reader. So what should I do? Will create a buffered reader class. Buffered reader br some object is equal to new buffered reader. But this class objects an what do you say? An argument. This constructor accepts an argument of input stream reader class. That's why I should create another class object called as input stream reader. This is the syntax actually. They gave it like that. Input stream reader is equal to new input stream reader which accepts the input from the system input device. That is nothing but my keyboard. My keyboard, right? From keyboard only user is going to give the inputs. So input stream reader, some is equal to new input stream reader. This I am going to pass it as an argument to buffer reader. Inside buffer reader object, now I have a method called as readline. So what is this? Okay, it's something class name is.
Can you please explain, sir, again?
Yes.
A little bit.
Now I'll tell you. Now it is asking. Okay, I'll show you this error. See, to read the input from the user from the keyboard dynamically at the runtime, I have a method called as readline or read integer. Some methods are available in a class called as buffer reader.
Okay.
This buffer reader accepts by default an argument of input stream reader class.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why I have declared input stream reader class. Its syntax looks like this. So I'm reading input from the system input device. That object I am passing as an argument to your buffer reader. This is also syntax to create the buffer reader class object.
Okay.
So
why we can't directly make the system directly in buffer
no,
reader
we cannot
class?
give. Whenever you want to accept input from the keyboard, you have to use this input stream reader or buffer reader class. This is the way that how they defined the rules in Java. Otherwise, you have another way using the scanner class object. That is another way. This is one way. Okay. Now inside buffer reader, I have a method called as readline method. See, this readline method can read the line of input data from user. Can I use the method name directly? No, I should use it using objects. This method is there in which class? Buffer reader, which is dependent on input stream reader. So whenever I use readline method, I have to write these 3 lines. Okay. Sometimes coding in Java is more, but it is meaningful. Okay. Now I have taken this read line. Now it is asking what happens if user have not given any input and how long I should wait. So it may throw it, which is nothing but exceptional case. So such cases it is asking me, see in Eclipse you get an error. You can see this error red color icon. When you click on that, now it says that you can use a throws declaration or you can surround this statement with a try catch block. If I use surround the statement with the try catch block, just see what happens. This particular line alone, the line which has an ability to throw the exception or error at the runtime is surrounded in a block called as try block. Set of instructions that has ability to throw an error at runtime, those instructions have to be placed inside try block. This is what it is called as exception handling in Java. That is why Java is robust. And when an exception is raised, for every kind of mistake the user do, the corresponding exception class object will be thrown automatically. If someone is throwing a ball, someone should be there to catch it. That's why following to try block, you have someone to catch that. So you have a catch block. Inside that catch block, you will specify the class name. There are a lot of exceptions are there. Each and every exception class says that the type of mistake the user is going to do. Okay, user can do. Okay. So if user exception, whatever if he do, if for example, if he enters an input like 10, instead of 10, I can give 10F. It's a number format exception, right? 1 second. Hello.
ரெண்டு மூணு பேர்த்திட்ட அப்படியே படிச்சுட்டு அப்படியே உங்களுக்கு நான் சொல்லிடுறேன். ஒரு இன்னொரு ஐநாட்டுக்கு இந்த கூட்டம் வரும் அப்புறம் காலேஜ் தான்.
எதுக்கு எக்ஸப்ஷனா ரைட் பிளாக்ல போட்டுருவோம். ரைட் கேட் பிளாக்ல போட்டு
So if for example, if user gives an input like 10, instead of giving 10, if he gives input like 10F or 10A, is it correct? So that's wrong, right?
No.
So obviously it is a number format exception. Then obviously this catch block will be called. So inside this catch block, I can write my own code. See, inside this block, I'll write my own code. I'll say to the user,
Enter integer values.
Please enter only integer value. See, if I write that such kind of meaningful messages inside catch block, when the error comes,
Okay.
this catch block will be called, and
Yeah.
the only that message will be displayed to the user, so user can understand it. So, for example, you can ask me,
Yeah.
I'm not sure which error user will do. He may do number format exception, he may do IO exception, he may do like okay null pointer exception, which means like he have not given any value, null value he can give only blank space.
Okay.
So for every mistake he do, there are different type of exception classes are there. So can we remember all those exceptions? Not necessary. What we will do,
Yeah.
instead of writing that many number of catch blocks for every exception, I won't write multiple catch blocks. I can write for all exceptions, the parent class is exception class. So if my try block throw any kind of exception,
Yeah.
it is the child class to exception class. So automatically this catch block will be called, and inside that the corresponding code will be executed.
Okay.
Simple. Exception handling is very simple.
Yeah.
You should write those instructions which has an ability to throw an error at runtime inside try block. And that exception, catch it using catch block. Inside catch block, what the message you want to display to the user, write it inside catch block.
Yeah.
Okay. And that exception class type, you should pass it as an argument to catch block.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where exception class is the parent class. If you are not using try block, try catch block, you can also do it in another way. Like you can go to, see, this code is written inside main method, right? So
Yeah.
at the end of the main method declaration, just give throws exception. So what does it mean? This method has a lot of code that has an ability to throw an exception. So I am telling to Java compiler, this code has an ability to throw the exception. So you understand?
Yes.
Yes. So in two ways. One is using try catch block, or I can give this declaration by which my Java compiler can come to understand. Yes, you can run this code. Yes, this code has an ability to throw the error, but still not a problem. My Java compiler can compile it. Okay. So this is the way that how we can handle the exceptions. Got it? Now.
So is it mandatory? So if you use try catch block, that we need to give throw exception in the main.
Correct. So if I write this code inside add method, then I can give that throws declaration here. Throws keyword is used to specify to the Java compiler, yes, I'm going to throw some kind of exception. If I'm going to use the try catch block already, I no need to use throws keyword.
Sir, if you use throws, what sort of error message will be displayed? Sir, if you simply use a throws exception without using try catch inside, what sort of error message?
Meaningful messages won't get displayed. It will display Java error only. That message anyway user can't understand. That's why always we suggest you to use the try catch.
Try catch. Okay. In order to make user friendlier.
Correct. శ్రీకాళహస్తికి దర్శనానికి వెళ్ళారు. శ్రీకాళహస్తికి అనుభవ దర్శనానికి వెళ్ళారు. క్యూ ఎక్కువగా ఉంది. చేసిన ఆయన ఉన్నారు, ఒక నిమిషం ఉండండి, ఆయన నెంబర్ తీసుకొని ఇస్తాను. ఆయన అయితే డైరెక్ట్గా క్యూ లేకుండా మేము విఐపి దర్శనానికి తీసుకుంటే 2 నిమిషాలు తీసుకొచ్చేస్తారని చెప్పాను. ఆయన నెంబర్ పట్టుకోవడం, ఆయన ఉండాల్సిన హైదరాబాద్లో ఉన్నారు, ఆయన వేరే వాళ్ళ నెంబర్ పట్టుకోవడం. ఈ లోపల ఏంటంటే మా వాళ్ళకి ఓపిక తక్కువ, మా బంగారు తండ్రి. అయిపోయింది దర్శనం. గుడ్. Fine. We'll go for object-oriented programming. We'll have a 5 minutes break. Okay. Once we come back, we will see object-oriented programming futures. Once that concept is done, then what else we have? We have some simple keywords like, okay, we just left with the oops. Once oops is done, we'll go with the final keyword. We'll go with the static keyword. Okay, got it? And once that is done, I think then we are ready to kickstart our probably another 45 minutes or 1 hour session is there for Core Java.
Okay.
Because once that is done, I think we are ready to go with map reducing concept.
Okay.
And so far, anyone having any questions or any queries, any confusion, or you need any revision of any topic? I know you are listening it for the first time. It is not that much easy to remember everything in my mind and get comfortability immediately. But still, I do accept it is very tough for every beginner. Though you have good experience in IT area, but first time we can't get the things in one attempt, right? But in any queries, I'm ready to explain you second time also. Please let me know now itself.
No, sir. What are all the
Srikanth,
things?
Murali,
Yes,
can you provide some hands-on after this so
sure.
that we can practice, so
Sure,
that we'll be
definitely. I'll give you some examples. Now, after all this, say for example, while coming object-oriented programming features, I'll demonstrate with some more examples. I'll explain you.
Okay, okay, sir.
okay.
Okay, chala. We'll meet after some 5 or 10 minutes break, and we can have that another 1 hour of session. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, funny.
Okay. See, this recorded session will be saved in my local.
Okay, sir.
No, I'm asking you, Raman.
Okay. No,
இப்போ நான்
no, sir.
செஷன் ரெக்கார்ட்
I asked
பண்றீங்களா
you
அது
to.
எங்க சேவ் ஆகும்?
இல்ல நீங்க ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணிருங்க, ஆஃப் பண்ணிருந்தீங்கன்னா ஞாபகப்படுத்துறதுக்காக.
இப்போ நான் வந்து பிரேக்
Break
டைம்ல
விட்டனால
பிரேக் போகும்போது ரெக்கார்ட் அந்த பட்டன் பிரஸ் பண்ணிட்டா இப்போ திருப்பி ஆன் பண்ண ரெக்கார்டிங் வந்துச்சு.
ஆமா, அது போதும் சார்.
இப்போ எங்க அந்த அந்த லிங்க் கொடுத்துட்டு ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா நம்ம வெப்ல ஸ்டோர் ஆயிடுமா?
இல்லைங்க சார், கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணணும். அது நம்ம செஷன் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணும்போது கேட்கும், கன்வர்ஷன் MP4 ஃபார்மேட்டுக்கு
ஓ
கேட்கும்.
ஓ ஓகே ஓகே புரிஞ்சுது
அதை கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணி நம்ம வச்சுக்கலாம். அதை நம்ம லிங்க் கொடுத்துக்கலாம்.
ஓகே, ஃபுல் செஷனுக்கு வந்து ஒரே வீடியோ தான் வரும்.
ஆமாங்க சார், ஒரு வீடியோ தான் வரும். நீங்க க்ளோஸ் பண்ணீங்கன்னா மட்டும்தான் 2 வீடியோ வரும். நீங்க பிரேக் பண்ணிட்டு திரும்ப ரீஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணீங்கன்னா 2 வீடியோ வரும். இல்ல ஒரே வீடியோ தான் வரும்.
Yes, I got it. We'll do it at the end. I'll take your help. Anyway, I'll share my screen, right? Okay.
Okay, sir.
Good. See, actually now we are accepting the input arguments, right?
Yeah.
So we are accepting input arguments.
Just now discuss try catch.
Yes, we'll see how we will accept the input arguments. Okay. So I'll give the message like this. It's not always the values are defined, right? Sometimes user can also give the values at runtime.
Sir, when you invoke this get date, it is get struck. What's the reason behind that?
It means it's a deprecated method which is been there in older versions.
Yeah.
But still we are using it.
Okay.
So please enter a value. Now I took the a value. Okay, now again I'll display. Please enter b value. User will see this message. After seeing this message, what he will do? He will enter b value. So that b value I should read it into this variable. Which variable? B variable, which is there in object. B is equal to, so you can copy this code again and paste it. Okay, again I will read using readline method. Whatever the value he entered, I'll read it, convert it into integer, store it into B. Okay, once I read the A and B value, then I'll call the add method.
Yeah.
So you got it. Now I'll run this program, Java application. See, now it is asking, please enter a value. Okay, now I'll give a value, I'll give it as 50. Now it is asking, please enter b value. It is waiting for user to enter the value. I will enter it using br.readline method that will be taken, converted into integer and copied into the object variable. Then I'll call the add method, it will do the performance. I'll give 30. 50 plus 30, 80.
Yeah.
Got it? So in real time, how?
If you doesn't enter any value for B, how much of time that it will wait before throwing that exception?
I'm not sure about the threshold value, but it will wait for some time and then it will give you like,
Okay,
okay, what do you say? Time bounds exception or something like that. I didn't try it actually, but
okay, sir.
because myself I have very less patience. Generally, I immediately give the input and then I'll execute the program and keep it.
Okay.
Right. So now it's this how to accept the arguments from the user. Now you are clear with that, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So let's go for object-oriented programming. So what are the object-oriented programming guys? Like apart from Raman, like other people are there, right? Other 4 associates. Do you have any questions so far,
Yeah.
Ma? You can unmute and then you can reply. Let me hear your voice at least once. Because at the end of the day, to whom you spoke with, okay, I can say only Raman and Murli name. The rest of the 3 associates, I even didn't heard your name, your voice at all.
Hello, sir.
Oh, that is why you are unmute, because this noise is.
Sorry for the inconvenience, sir. This is Abid Zubair from Infosys.
Yeah, hi. Yes.
I just joined here.
Any doubts you have so far, Ma?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Okay, fine, not a problem. You just reply me in this IM. We have chat window, right?
Yes, sir.
So there you can reply me if you have like if everything is fine. You just say okay, then I'll proceed. I think when you are logging into the session, you didn't enter your name. That's why 3 associates, your name is not displaying in the go-to meeting. So Jay Ganesh is clear.
It did not prompt me to enter my name actually.
Yeah. Jay Ganesh is clear. What about Habib?
Yeah.
Okay, good. And what about the other lady associate? Sorry, it's not Habib. It's Abid. Okay, sorry, Abid. Professor Raman voice is no bit not clear today morning. Now it is bit. I think he had some food. Now his voice is pretty much audible. Good. So what about that lady associate? Is she clear? Gautam here.
Bhagyalakshmi.
Okay, Bhagyalakshmi. Gautam is clear. Abid is also okay. Is clear. And we have Murli as well. Murli, you have any questions? And Bhagyalakshmi, you can reply me in the chat. If you're okay, then I'll proceed to the object-oriented programming features, and we have static and final keyword. Once that is done, yes, we are done with core Java. We are ready and to proceed with map reducing coding. Even map reducing coding is very, very interesting. You'll enjoy the session for sure. Okay. So let's proceed. Murli is offline. I think he'll be joining soon. Raman, please.
No issue.
Yeah, please ping Murli once, like in mobile or somewhere.
Okay, sir.
Might be some problem with his internet connection. Yeah. Now, so let me start with object-oriented programming. So we have object-oriented programming features in Java, like encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, and abstraction. Okay. So if you take encapsulation, so what does it mean? For example, generally you have a capsule with you. I'm not speaking about a tablet. I'm speaking about a capsule. Okay. So what is the difference between the capsule and this one? Tablet has if you take a capsule, it has 2 entities in the tablet, right? So one part is nothing but data variables here. Every class is also a capsule. It's just like an encapsulated property, because one property, it has data variables, the other property is data methods. Both combined together, they are called as data members, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So both that together they are called. So every class is nothing but the classes and interfaces. Every class is nothing but it consists of data variables and data methods. Both are said to be called as data member. So that's why it is called as, every class is said to be called as an encapsulated property. Okay, good. Now, what is meant by inheritance? Inheritance means I can define a child class for a particular class, so that the properties inside the parent class can be used by the child class. So child class, no need to recreate those methods again. It can use its parent class methods. That is called as inheritance. That is what we are doing, right? So how can we use existing APIs? By importing that existing package, by creating that class object, and I can use the existing methods. Now, for example, why should I need to inherit? Sir, I am using this import statement now, and I am creating the object, date class object. I am using getDate method. I am using existing APIs only. There I have not used any inheritance concept. But why explicitly I have to use inheritance? There are certain reasons for that. For example, in my parent class, I have 3 methods. I am okay with 2 methods, but one method I am not satisfied with the logic inside that method. I want to change the behavior of that method, and then I want to use it. In that case, what I will do? I will inherit the parent class. Whenever I want the first 2 methods, I can blindly use them directly. If I want to override that method, the third method which I am not satisfied with the logic, I can override that method again, which means the same method I will redefine and declare in my child class, and I can write my own logic. So next time when I call the method, instead of calling the parent class method, it will call the child class. I'll show you an example with that. Okay, now let me take another class. I'll take a class. I'll give class name as parent sample. Okay, and this method, this class has a variable, some p, and I no need to have variable also. I'll just declare only methods alone. It's up to me. Public void, I'll give like hello method. Oh, instead of that, okay, say I'll say hello method. Okay, hi Srikanth. Okay, how are you? I'll give this. Right, that's done. Okay, now public void hi. Okay, system dot out dot println. I'll say, sorry, instead of hello, here I'll say hello Srikanth, how are you? Here I'll say hi Srikanth, how are you? Okay, I have 2 methods in this class for me. Okay, good. Now let me take another class. In a single program, I can create multiple classes also. So see, in the same program, I can create, this class is done. I can create one more class. But first I should close the first class. Yes, I closed it. After that, now I can say some class name is okay, example, exam, and then I can create the other class. I can write my class, but in a program I can write multiple classes, but there should be at least one class where the main method is there, because main method is the starting point of the execution. There should be starting point, right? But I don't want to do this, make it confusing for you. So what I will do is I'll create another class. So take another class, new class. What is my class name? I'll give it as child. 1 second. Sorry. जी சொல்லுங்க जी. But I can continue for the associates. இப்போ நான் இல்லை நான் அவங்க எல்லாரும் சொன்னோம் ஒரு பவர் போயிடுச்சு ஒரு 10 நிமிஷம் தென் சரி எனக்கு கால் பண்ணுங்க அப்போ ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணுறேன் எல்லாருக்கும் இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுறேன் Okay, I think Professor Raman Noka, there is a power disconnection in his home. He will be joining back in another 5 minutes. So he asked us to wait for some time. Meanwhile, what we will do is I'll type the program. Once he comes, I'll re-explain it again. Is that okay, guys? I'll create another class called as a child sample. Okay. Now it has the main method also. Now this child class, I want it to be used by, if I use a keyword called as extends keyword, it can inherit the other class members. So parent sample using extend keywords. Now child sample behaves as the child class. Using extend keyword says that I'm inheriting properties from which class? That class name, parent class name. Okay. Now it has its own local method, public void child method. I have some method I will declare. Okay. This is child class. Okay, I'll just display some message. Now inside the main method, okay, and I'm overriding this method. I have parent class, I have two methods like hello method is there, hi method is there. Assume that I'm okay with hello method, but hi method I don't like it. So but I want to change the logic. What should I do? Public void hi. I'll override exactly as it is. How it is defined in the parent class? Same access specifier, same return type, same method name, number of arguments, type of arguments also same. Everything is matching. That is called as method of overriding. Overriding says that overriding says that I am not satisfied with the parent class method. That's why I'm overriding that method. I'm writing my own logic. But at the time of method overriding, you should write the method syntax as it is. Okay. Now inside this method, now I will write system.out.println. I'll just say hi in child class. Okay, hi method in child class. Inside main method, for how can I access these members? Create the object for the child class. Do I need to create parent class object also? If required, I can create, but for me I don't require. Child sample is equal to new child sample, create the object. Now if I say c dot hello is which method? Parent class method or child class method? Accessing parent class method. Can I do that using child class object? Yes, I can do, because parent class methods automatically got inherited, means copied into child classes automatically. So you can use child class object to access the parent class. That's done. What does it says? Oh, sorry. Okay, got it. Now object dot, I can call the local method hi. Now which method will be called? Parent class. There is a conflict between the hi method. There are two methods. One is same method is there in child class, same method there in parent class. Now which method will be called? Accessing child class overridden method. If I want to call only the parent class method, what should I do? Obviously I should create parent class object. Parent sample p is equal to some p1 is equal to new parent sample object name dot, I'll say hi. So what is this method? Accessing parent class method. So shall we run this and then see? Where is this main method? Main method is there in child sample. So right click on this child sample and then run it. Run as Java application. You'll see, hello Srikanth, how are you? First, which method I am calling? I created the object. Execution starts from main method. Create the child class object. It calls the using child class object. I am calling the hello method of the parent class. So hello Srikanth, how are you will be called. Is this correct? Where is my output? No, it is here only. My console is here. This blue color icon. Hello Srikanth, how are you? Now, what I am doing? Next statement is I am calling the hi method. Now there is a conflict. Which hi I should call? Parent class hi or child class hi? Obviously, overridden method will be called. Okay. So hi method in child class, this will be called. So you see the output? Hi method in child class. Then again I am calling hi. This method is there in the parent class. You understand the concept of overriding? Do you understand the concept of inheritance? Now you can ask me a question. Can I inherit one class, comma, can I inherit one more class called as example? Can I do that? It's wrong. You cannot inherit multiple classes in Java, but you can inherit multiple interfaces. What is interface? I'll tell you. You cannot inherit multiple classes in Java. Is this concept clear? Everyone? Is this clear, ma? Yes, yes, good. So Gautam have acknowledged. What about others? I can say only 4 associates are there, like Jay Ganesh, Gautam, and Murli. What about rest of the associates? Power problem in all those areas. Hello. Gautam, Ganesh, and Murli. Can we wait for some 5 minutes? Like let other guys can join us back. Shall we? Yes, Murli. Is that fine? I think Murli is busy. That's okay. Okay, I'll be. Yes, no, Murli, I can't hear you. That's why I'm keep on pinging you. You just reply me on chat. But I can't hear you. Something problem with your cam. But you can hear me, right? You can reply me on chat. Yes, good, good. That is important, right? You have to see my screen. You have to listen to me. It doesn't matter that whether your voice is audible to me or not, because we have chat to communicate. Good. We'll wait for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Or let the guys come back, and we will proceed with, because they will miss these topics. Is that fine? Yeah, good. Thank you. I'll stop this recording for time being. Good. Okay. Now, so where is this? Oh yeah, we were discussing about inheritance concept. So Raman, what exactly we did here is I created 2 classes. Okay, one is parent sample. This class has 2 methods like hello method and hi method. And I have given like hello method has hello Srikanth, how are you? Okay, hi Srikanth, how are you? And I have taken one more class. This class, if it want to inherit, means use the behavior or the properties of another class. So
Yeah.
I will be using a keyword called as extends. Extend says that I'm inheriting the properties from a different class. Which class? That parent class, I'll give it here. Okay. Now, why should I go for inheritance? If I want to use the parent class members, I can use it. If I am not satisfied with parent class members, I can override that member and then I can define my own logic inside that member. Okay. So inside child class, I have my local method called as child method. This is a normal method. In my parent class, I have a hi method, but I'm not okay with this content. See, Java have given you 1.5 lakhs of classes and many methods they have given you. Did they force you to use whatever they define to us? It's up to us, right? Yes, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this existing behavior. Okay. Say I don't want to display today's date, just only date 16. I want to display the date like, yeah, today's date is 16th July. I want to display like that. Can I override that method and write my own logic? Yes or no? So these predefined classes, predefined methods, so they, what do you say? They never force us. They won't force us to. Raman is offline. I think his net got disconnected again. Okay, let him connect back. Okay, let's discuss something else. Guys, you people are from, no, are you from India or Chennai or from different places?
Srikanth, this is Murali. I am from Madurai.
So now you are in Madurai. Okay, good. So you are working, you are learning Hadoop admin stuff.
Yes.
Which organization is that?
Honeywell.
Pardon?
Honeywell.
Honeywell. So we have Honeywell branch there in Madurai.
Yes.
Oh, great. I'm not aware of it. Any,
Madurai and Bangalore. Madurai.
Great. Any openings for freshers?
Freshers.
Pardon?
They will conduct some. They will conduct some interview. In Tyagaraja Engineering College, Madurai itself.
Okay.
On campus interview like that.
Okay. So outside.
So, but nowadays,
if I want to push one external profile, if I want to push one external profile, this year passed out, 2016 passed out, CSC student. What is the process? Can I do that? He is having around 63%.
No. Freshers they won't take now. They are taking only experience. If they want freshers means they got some contract with Tyagaraja Engineering College. They will take from there only.
Their college only. Okay. Got it. No problem. Good. Let me know if there are any openings for any freshers anywhere. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So what about Jay Ganesh is working for Solartis. So you're from Madurai? Jay Ganesh is also from Madurai. Okay. Solartis, do you have any openings in your company? Sorry to ask you this question to all of one. I just want to make you engaged in the discussion.
No problem. I think Raman sir can help.
Yeah, I asked.
Madurai openings.
I already put a request to him. I have to discuss with him today evening mostly.
Fresher requirement.
Fresher, CSC, computer science background, this year passed out.
Okay.
Has aggregate of 63 or 64, I think. It's a pressure, right?
Okay.
So what course is good to study instead of waiting for a job and then now learning some courses in institutes, wasting our time as well.
Yeah.
Instead, if we join in a small firm, also not a problem. We can learn the work. By next year, he will be in a comfortable position, right?
Sure.
We can think about earning later, but first we have to stabilize the career.
Yes, correct.
So no, we should also know nowadays this generation people are very fast. Now they lose patience actually. Which is very, very essential.
Srikanth.
Ji, solunga.
Srikanth, 1 second. You are taking only this class or any other class you are taking?
I am actually, handling Hadoop, entire Hadoop sessions, like, for developer perspective, not admin perspective. Raman sir is actually the admin perspective, right? From developer perspective, I will teach all the ecosystems in Hadoop.
Okay.
MapReduce, Hive.
Any J2E kinds of stuffs you are taking?
Correct. Java, J2W. Yes, J2W I can take, but not Springs and Hibernate framework. I can take the basic J2W concepts like servlets, JSP, JDBC.
Srikanth, 1 second. Raman sir is calling. 1 second.
Please.
Hello.
Connect Ram sir.
Okay.
ஓகே கரண்ட் திரும்ப போயிடுச்சுங்க நான் கனெக்ட் ஆயிட்டேன் ஓகே சாப்பிட்டேன் சார் we can start now sir again current was switched off and not connected.
Now can you to see the screen?
Yes, I can able to see your screen also. I can able to hear your voice.
Very good, very good. Yeah, we'll continue that. Yeah, yes, Ganesh, you were saying something? Yeah, sure, I'll share the profile. At the same time, you were asking something, right? What is that, Ganesh? Ganesh? The J2W topic, right?
This is Murali, yeah.
Oh, Murali
J2W, yeah.
Okay, J2W. Yeah, see, I actually deal with, J2W servlets, JSP, JDBC concept I can deal. Apart from that, we have struts frameworks, Springs and Hibernate. So
that EJB kind of.
EJB is there for enterprise application development, but I didn't work in that.
Okay.
So until and unless I have a hands-on experience in any technology, so தெரிஞ்சது வேற hands-on experience வேற. எனக்கு hands-on experience இல்லைன்னா நான் வந்து ஏமாத்த மாட்டேன். கண்டிப்பா நோன்னு சொல்றேன். Because when you are spending your time is very valuable as mine. So you have to spend it to a right person, with a right person, so that it will be meaningful, right? So EJB, I can check with my close contacts. Is there any online trainer who is good in that?
Okay.
I'll check for that. I'll share the contact with you and Raman as well, if anyone is there.
Okay.
With respect to Hadoop admin perspective, Raman sir, and I think anyway he's already taking. Development perspective, that I can take. Yeah. Development perspective, we can handle it. Because I am a Hadoop developer, right? I am there.
So we can make use of you, Srikanth sir, in this development perspective.
Sure. Any topic, whenever you want to learn something in Hadoop ecosystems, Hive, Pig, Spark, Kafka, MongoDB, any ecosystem in Hadoop. Okay, if you want to learn, you have any queries, we can plan for a session. I'll make myself available because generally I'll be a bit busy in the weekends also. I used to take some guest lectures. So prior intimation is very much comfortable for me. We can plan for 2 hours or 3 hours schedule, at least in the evening timings, and then we can mutually share our knowledge to each other. That's not a problem. Any queries, please stay in touch with Raman sir. He will update me so that I can tell him my availability timing. We can have a similar session. Okay. Let's continue. Okay. So here, so I have taken a parent class where I have 2 methods, and in the child class I have inherited the parent class, which means parent class members can be accessible by the child class. So inside child class, I can use the parent class methods directly, or if I am not satisfied with the parent class method, I can override the method with the same method declaration. Means the method return type declaration, everything is same, and then once that is done, I can change the logic alone inside the method as per my requirement. Okay. Now in the main method, I have created the object of the child class. Now when I said c.hello, do I have hello method inside the child class here?
No.
But still I could able to access it, because hello method is there in the parent class. It got inherited into child class. Still you can able to access it. So accessing the parent class method, is vice versa possible? Which means parent class object can access child class method? Not possible, because right, parents are always good, children are worst people, right? If you go to your dad and say, dad, can I use your bike, can I use your pen, he will say, why not, please use it. Parents are very good, child members can access parent members. But if your dad comes to you and then asks, can I lend you your pen for some time, you will immediately say reasons. Dad, this is my pen, how dare you can touch that? We are very worst people, right? We are always bad to our parents. We don't give we feel it as private properties, personal properties. Don't touch my mobile, it has private messages and all. You should not touch my mobile without my notice. So vice versa is not possible.
If parent class extends child class means, is it possible?
That's possible. Then
That's,
then that parent class behaves as the child class, right?
yes, yes.
The one who extends using extend keyword, this will become the parent and this will become the this will become child and this will become the parent. Only the class names will get valid.
Okay.
Okay. Now using high method, see, using child class method object, I am calling the high method. There is a conflict. High method is there in the child class. High method is there in the parent class also. Which one will be called now? Since I have overridden this method. Okay. Overriding means parent class method as it is. I am writing the same method signature. I am changing only the logic implementation of the method code alone. Okay. Now I have overridden the method and I have called that method using child class object. So this method will be called. Parent class method won't be called. What should I do if I want to call only parent class method, not the child class? Then you should create the parent class object. Normally, how you access the member, the same way you can access it. Parent class dot object.
Okay.
Member. Simple. So this is called as method of overriding. We do overriding when we do inheritance. Why should we override? If you are not satisfied with the parent class method behavior, you can override it and write your own logic.
Parent parent நம்ம access பண்ணோம்னா அதுக்கு ஒரு ஆப்ஜெக்ட் கிரியேட் பண்ணி access பண்ணோம்னா parent child செப்பரேட் access இந்த childல இருந்து parent-ஐயும் access பண்ணிக்கலாம் childல access பண்ணிக்கலாம் so that childல அதே மெத்தட் இல்லைன்னா parent-ஓட மெத்தட் இல்லை parent-ஓட மெத்தட் இருக்கு அதே நம்ம childல இருக்குன்னா child தான் உங்களுக்கு பாஸ் பண்ணும்
இது கால் செய்யல இருக்கு
parent-ஐ கால்
అది కాల్ చేయాలంటే
ఇది ఎందులో చైల్డ్ క్లాస్ లో ఉంది సో చైల్డ్ క్లాస్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ మెథడ్ లోకల్ మెథడే కదా ఆబ్జెక్ట్ నేమ్ డాట్ క్లాస్ సి డాట్ చైల్డ్ మెథడ్ అంటే ఇది కాల్ చైల్డ్
parent இருக்கிறது வேணும்னா parent ஒரு ஆப்ஜெక్ட் கிரியேట్ பண்ணி
ఈ క్లాస్ ఆబ్జెక్టే వాడుకుంటాం సింపుల్ నార్మల్ లాజిక్ ఇప్పుడు దా చూస్తాం ఓకే so shall we go for next topic hello
yes sir
ji next topic polama
polam sir
see what we have seen encapsulation, we have seen inheritance, we have something called as polymorphism. Polymorphism means method overloading. ஒரே மெத்தட் பேர்ல I can have multiple methods. பட் அந்த இங்க நம்ம கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்டர் ஓவர்லோடிங் பார்த்தாச்சுல அதே மாதிரி இப்போ எனக்கு வந்து மெத்தட் நேம் ஆட்னு இருக்கு add method I can give it like add of int a comma int b, add of float a comma float b. What does it mean? I can have two methods with the same name but method arguments, number of arguments, type of arguments is different. Method name alone same. So depending on the type of values you pass it to the method, add of 10 comma 20 addition method will be called. Add of 2.2 4.5 the second method will be called. What does it mean? I can have the same method multiple forms but only depending on the type of values you pass the corresponding method will be called. This is called as method overloading.
Okay.
Which means polymorphism. Morphism means multiple forms. So I can have the same name with multiple forms. Okay, just like your Kamalasan, Dashavatar.
Yeah.
Perfect example for inheritance is your earlier it is Vijay, now it is Jayam Ravi. Copy remasters. You know, right? They are good for remaking the movies from Telugu and Kannada, majorly from Telugu. You know, right? So they will remake, but their dedication is superb. Actually, initially in some of the movies I have seen, Vijay, if he remake the movie, he will remake the songs as well. In that, if there is an item song, he will copy the exact the same handkerchief color is also will be the same as it is there in Telugu. So inheritance he will apply it in perfect way. But nowadays he is not inheriting the movies. Now Jayam Ravi has taken that responsibility. I think for Jayam Ravi from Tani Oruvan he stopped that. Last 2-3 movies he haven't done any. He haven't used any inheritance concept. Right now let's go for abstraction. Abstract, we have some keyword called as abstract keyword. What does it mean is there is a keyword called as abstract keyword. Okay, this abstract keyword is used to is used to define the members of a class with no body. For example, if I say like public void add method, okay, what does it mean if I give abstract? It should not have the body. These empty braces also I should not give. I should close this method immediately. Then what is the use of that method? Which means these Java people, what they did was, we will define some methods as abstract. By seeing the method name, you will get an idea of what does it will do, but the logic is not written by us. You override that method, you inherit that class, override that method, write your own logic. These methods are meant to be overridden by the user. Abstract keyword is used to declare methods with no body. Abstract classes also you can create. For example, I can have abstract class A. I can give the class name and I can write abstract classes. It contains both methods. For example, I can have public void add method. I can have some code inside this, and I can also give like this abstract public void subtraction method, but this method should not have body. Abstract classes can contain abstract methods and non-abstract methods. So when I inherit this class abstract class A, I should override the abstract method if I want to use it. And then I can write my logic. Add method is not abstract, so I can use it directly. Subtraction method, you should override that method first and then write your logic and then use it. Got the rule?
Yes, sir. Yes, clear.
So in this situation, it's useful. Good question. So abstract methods, generally what happens is they don't want to give everything spoon feeding to the users, Java people. So they made certain methods as concrete, as abstract. So if I have, for example, there is a method called as area. See, area is a method is there, but what area user want to calculate? Area of circle, area of a polygon, area of a triangle, what? I'm not sure. Depending on the requirement, user will override that method and he will write his own logic. So there are certain methods which is being commonly used by multiple people in different areas in their own streams. So they just given a method declaration alone, but logical implementation we will write it according to our requirement. Such methods, there is no use that they can create behavior for every stream of user, because tomorrow if I have area of polygon, who knows, tomorrow there may be a different new shape will come into picture. Correct?
Okay.
So such cases I'll use this abstract classes. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Now we go for abstract keyword is done. We have something called as interfaces. There is another way to write a program in Java. If instead of writing class name, I can also write a program in Java using interface name. So class will give class example, right? Class name. So what we'll do, interface name. Okay. Inside that, now also I will have the variables and I will also have the methods. But the difference between class and interface is, by default, the variables inside interfaces are public, static, and final. What is static, what is final, I'll tell you. They are public, they are static, they are final. By default, the methods inside interface are abstract. That's why by default all the methods are abstract. That's why no need to use a keyword called as abstract preceding to method declaration. In abstract classes, I have both abstract method and non-abstract method. That's why I'll use an extra keyword to differentiate them. I use an extra keyword called as abstract. In interface, all the methods are abstract. So you have to, any method you want to use, you have to override them. Similarly, for inheritance concept, you use class inheritance, you use extends keyword. Interface inheritance, you use implements keyword. For example, class A, if it want to inherit example interface, I'll use a keyword called as implements example. When I use implements, multiple inheritance is also, for example, there is another class called as sample. That is also another interface. Yes, multiple inheritance is allowed only with interfaces. At least one class can be extended, but multiple interfaces can be extended. Okay, now what is the use of abstract class interfaces? Interfaces, as I told you, right, concrete, they just define the methods, we have to override it and then write our logic. But we don't use interfaces much, because though, if for example, if I have two methods like public void subtraction, two methods are there. In my child class, I want only add method. But still, you have to override the other methods also, at least with an empty body. Though you use it or you don't use it, doesn't make any sense. In an interface, if I have 100 methods, but you need only one method, it's not something like you can override only that method and then use it. Though I don't want the rest of the 99 methods, but still you have to override that method, keep an empty braces, empty body, at least empty body, and then you have to use the method that what you want. So which is a disadvantage to the interfaces. We don't use interfaces generally. We use mostly the classes. But we can use existing interfaces using implements.
Sir, can you please repeat, sir? I couldn't able to get your answer.
Good. Interfaces has purely abstract methods. Generally, we won't use it.
Okay.
Because even though, since it has all the methods as abstract, though we need only one method, we have to override rest of the methods also, at least with an empty body.
Oh.
So if my interface is having 100 methods, it is a headache for us.
Yeah. So without overriding that method, we can't make use of the needed method alone.
Okay. Good.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, now understood. Okay. Clear.
Good. Now we'll go for interfaces. You are clear. This one is clear. Now let's go for final keyword. Okay. Now there is a keyword called as final. What is final? For example, if I have a final match today, do I have an extra match tomorrow?
No.
So which means this final keyword, I will use it for variables. For example, if I say final int a, I can give the value as a is equal to 10. One time I can define. Second time I cannot define because it is a constant. Final variables cannot be modified. Final variables cannot be modified. Now, if I use a final method, public final, okay, void add method is there. What does it mean? I can override, I can write this method. I can write some code inside this method, okay, but I cannot override it in child class because it is final. Its declared definition is already done. I cannot override it and then change its definition. Okay.
Yeah.
Similarly, final classes. What does it mean? Final classes cannot be inherited. Why do we inherit? To change its behavior, right? We can override the methods and change its behavior. Final classes cannot be inherited. Any class preceded with a keyword called as final cannot be inherited. If I have a class A which is declared as final, I cannot say class B extends the final. That's wrong because class A is final. You cannot inherit it. If I have a method defined as final, you cannot override it in your child class. If I have a variable which is defined as final, you cannot modify its value. You can assign the value only once. It's a constant. It's a clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now we have something called as static keyword. Someone has a doubt. Clear. So why we use final keyword is final keyword. Sometimes some methods you want to make it concrete. You don't want to give permission to the user to override it. How can you provide security? How can you restrict the user in the child class not to override this method? Correct?
No need to worry. I am here.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are here.
Yeah. See, if why should I use final keyword? For example, how can I restrict my method not to be overridden by the child class? Right. See, I have defined a class now, and I have given that package to another user in the future. You can use my code, but I want to give access to only to certain methods. Certain methods I want to restrict them not to override it. Because if they override, the original behavior of the project itself will get changed.
Definitely. Yeah.
So how can I restrict them? By using final. If I give a final keyword to that method, they cannot override it. So the original behavior of the method cannot be changed. In that cases, final keyword will help us to restrict our methods not to be modified. Got it? Now we have another keyword called as static. Static says that it is used to define class members. Sir, we have seen something called as object members. The members of the class which is accessible by the object name dot member name. Those members are object members. I understood. What is this class members? Object members can be accessed by object name. Without creating object, is it possible to access the members of the class? Yes, we can. That is by using static, because static members are used to define class members. If I say int a, it says only object member. If I say static int a, yes, static keyword I used preceding to variable declaration, preceding to method declaration. If you see, main method is static, public static void main. Because static says that it is class member. Class members gain priority than object members. That is why it is being called first. And these class members can be accessed not only by object name, it can be accessed by the class name also. For example, if my class name is example, I can say like this, example.a. Because a is a class member preceded with a static keyword. I can also say object name dot a. I can also call this. I can also call class name dot member name. Both ways it's possible. Static defines the class members. Is it vice versa possible? For example, if I have int b, object name dot b, yes, I can call. But can I call like this, class name dot b? Is it possible? No, it's not possible, because b is object member. It is not static. You cannot access them using class name. You can access the members of the class. You can access the members of the class using class name. Without object also you can access by using if they are static. I have one more question. If you have an abstract class, you cannot create the object for an abstract class. You cannot create an object for the abstract. You can create a class objects for any class, but not for abstract class, because abstract classes should not be, objects should not be instantiated for abstract classes. So what should we do? We have to inherit that class, and in the through child class only we can access the members of the abstract class. If I create the object for the abstract class, I can access its members directly, object name dot method name. But abstract classes objects cannot be created. Then how can I access its members? Through child class. So inherit it, create the child class object, you can access the parent class members. That is the restrictions given to the abstract class members. Abstract classes cannot be, objects cannot be instantiated. Correct. So I have a doubt. Can a single class can have multiple objects?
Yes.
So will there won't be any conflict between the object 1 to object 2? See, if I have some sand of clay with me, I have some clay with me, and I gave this clay to Professor Raman, and I asked you to construct some bricks using your hand. Okay, now using your own hands, you made 10 bricks. Okay, will all the bricks will be the same dimensions, same width, same length and breadth?
No.
Definitely no. There will be at least some 1 mm of deviation. Now I will give you a steel plate in a square shape. Okay, just like your geometry box. Now you apply the clay in that, and then you can have copies of that from the steel plate. Now all the objects, all the instances from the steel plate will have the same dimension. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Which means template is nothing but the class, and you can create multiple instances for it. They are objects. So every object will hold the properties of the class, which means every object can have same variables and same methods as it is there in the class. So I can create one more object called as E1. I more create another object called as E2. Now I can say that E1.a is equal to 20. E2.a is equal to 30. What does it mean? I can have multiple objects. The variables, the properties of each object are different from each. They are not same. E1 object has their own members. E2 object has their own members. They are just using the members of the standard template called as class. Got it? The simple conclusion is a class can have multiple objects. Every object can hold the properties of a class. All these properties, each object has their own unique and individual members as similar to class. They are not conflicting with other object members. To avoid conflict, you will use object name dot method name or object name dot member name. Okay. Now we have seen static keyword. We also have something called a static block. If I use a static block, this block, is there any, see from where the execution starts in our program? Main method.
Main method.
Okay, but is it possible before main method, is it possible to write some code? You can write it inside the static block. You just create a keyword like static keyword, open the brace and close the brace, write some logic inside this block. Static block is the block which will get executed in prior to your main method. Prior to your main method. Before you start constructing the house, you should gather the money, cement, labor, everything, right? For example, in your Java program, if you are writing some logic inside a method, that method will be called after creating the object. Objects can be created only inside the main method. But what happened now? Inside your method, you are accessing a variable. That variable is a shared variable. Assume like that. It's an example. Okay. That variable is a shared variable. So that variable has some other process in your computer has applied a lock on this variable. Without knowing that, you access that, you're trying to access that variable in your method, and since that is locked by some other process, you cannot access the value of the variable and you cannot execute that coding. So you want to check whether is there any variables that is there any variables has dependencies what I'm going to use in my program. I have to check that before my program gets started. Such code I can write inside the static block. Clear? So static block has some code which helps us to execute before the main method starts. Simple point. Okay. Okay, is that clear, guys? Good. So we have seen what is meant by a class, what is meant by an interface, how to write a class, how to execute a class, how to create a project in a class, and what is object-oriented programming features, how to use the existing APIs, how to use existing class names. Okay. You can write your own classes. You can use the existing classes also. Right? You have seen all these object-oriented programming basics in core Java today. So till this point, these basics are more than enough for us to understand the Hadoop coding, Hadoop MapReduce coding. If you are comfortable with these basics, that is, you see, if you want to dive much deep into Java, you have many topics are there, but all those things are not essential for us. With respect to core Java, these basics that what we have seen now is more than enough, is actually not enough actually, it's more than enough for us to get into MapReduce concept. Because if I show you MapReduce coding now, and if I try to explain that to you, you can understand, oh, this is user-defined class, oh, this is predefined class. So to use predefined class, Srikanth sir have used import statement, and this is there in a predefined package name so and so. What is a package? What is import statement? What is extends keyword? What is this method overriding? What is this method overloading? How he called that method? All these questions will be there in your mind if I start MapReduce code blindly. But since we have seen the basics now in core Java, when I'm explaining that code, these kind of simple questions won't come into your mind. You will understand my code explanation. I hope you will definitely understand my code explanation.
Yes.
Okay, are you clear till this point? Any doubts is சொல்லுங்க
சார் அந்த ஸ்டாட்டிக் மட்டும் ஒரு தடவை அவனுக்கு ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்தீங்களா, அது மட்டும் ஒரு ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு சின்ன ரிப்பீட். ஸ்டாட்டிக் எங்க யூஸ் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் கொடுத்தீங்களா?
எந்த எக்ஸாம்பிள் கிளாஸா?
ஜஸ்ட் லாஸ்ட் ஸ்டாட்டிக் பிஃபோர் நம்ம மெயின் மெத்தடுக்கு முன்னாடி நம்ம இன்வோக் பண்ணதும்
ஸ்டாட்டிக் பிளாக்கா? ஓகே, see static block for example இங்க பாருங்க. so I have a child class மா. child classல இப்போ மெயின் மெத்தட் இருக்குல, எக்ஸிகியூஷன் இங்கல இருந்து தான ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகும். மெயின் மெத்தடுக்கு முன்னாடி if I want to display something, அந்த கோட் வந்து ஸ்டாட்டிக் பிளாக்ல டிஸ்ப்ளே பண்ணலாம். ஸ்டாட்டிக் பிளாக் ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டு here I will write some logic system.out.println I will write inside static block. see இப்போ நான் ப்ரோக்ராம் ரன் பண்ணா இதுக்கு முன்னாடி எப்பவுமே மெயின் மெத்தட் தான் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கால் ஆகுது. only for main method is getting called first. now that won't will be called, it is different. see static block, inside static block is calling first. so you could able to execute some set of instructions if you have written inside the static block. first static block will be called, then only it will go to main method. clear? We have some common questions like what is the disadvantages with interfaces? Because interfaces by default all methods are abstract, though we need only one method to be used by the child class. We have to override rest of all the methods, at least with the empty method declaration, because of which if the parent interface has more methods, unnecessarily I'm overriding it in my child class, though I don't want it. so because everything is an abstract class, abstract method, so that is one disadvantage of interfaces. and there is another question like from one of our associate, what is the necessity of using interface over the abstract classes? see abstract classes provide us the way to define both normal methods and abstract methods. Yes, of course abstract classes are a bit more advantageous when compared to interfaces, but when we will use interfaces, though we have abstract classes, interfaces is used because you don't want to provide any behavior to the user. You want to define all the methods as abstract, and you are asking him to override and write his own logic. You are not giving him any helping hand, because abstract classes have some normal methods also. He can use those methods. Reusability of code is there in abstract classes, but here in interfaces there is no reusability. Only method declaration alone is there. The user who wants to use this interface have to override all the methods, and then he should write his own logic. so when you want to freeze the restricted access to the user, and you don't want to give any reusability to the code to the user, you can give those methods in the interface, purely interface, right? Not audible for whom?
Okay.
Sir, okay. Now okay, sir.
Okay, good. Chalo. So we have seen all the basics of core Java. So if you don't have any queries on this, we will wind up here. We will meet after 45 minutes or 1 hour. And we will see MapReduce topic for 1.5 hours or 2 hours. We'll discuss about MapReduce. Then we will proceed with project explanation or some POCs explanation in MapReduce. We will see it tomorrow. So, but MapReduce concept explanation we will see it today. But for MapReduce concept, to understand MapReduce concept, you should be good with Hadoop distributed file system architecture. HDFS you should be thorough with.
Each and everyone aware of that, sir.
So if you are aware with HDFS concepts, yes, I'm straight away that I can proceed with MapReduce. That won't take much time. Maximum 3 hours is required to complete MapReduce topic, 3 to 4 hours. Since you are already thorough with HDFS. Okay. So any questions, Mark, in core Java? So because I'm going to close this topic here. Any questions? Please let me know. Okay, you can also discuss in your lunch time. Yes.
Srikanth,
please.
This is Murali. when static members are shared along with the objects, because it is directly used with class, right?
Correct. Class name dot
it
static member name I can access. Correct.
So all the objects are between those objects, the static variable is shared.
Yes. See, anything inside the class, by default it comes inside the object. Correct. Object name dot member name I'm calling.
Yeah.
But anything which is declared as static cannot be accessed by object.
Yes. Okay.
No, I mean vice versa is not possible. Anything declared as object member cannot be accessed by class names. Okay. Good. Now.
Okay.
Any other question? Bhagyalakshmi, are you clear? I think you are from CSC background. You know these basics already. I think you will get interest much when the MapReduce concept starts. Okay. What about Gautam, Jay Ganesh? Okay. Ganesh is clear. Murli is clear. Gautam is also clear. Good. I think Lakshmi is from the same background. She might be clear with this. Ramanji, guys, let's wind up for the lunch time. We will meet by sharp 2:15. We will meet and we'll continue with MapReduce concept. There I have a slide deck for that mapper concept. I will explain you that. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right, guys. Thank you so much. I'll pause this recording for now. But session will be alive.